The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
Don't know, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, everybody, he's a macho savage. You're listening to Mike Trash, TrashTalkingRadio.com. The best in the business. Say it, the macho king.
Wrestling fans throughout radio land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you hear guys like myself, the Ugandan Giant come out. And that's my story.
You can hear words to describe the Trash Talking Radio Show from 7 to whenever we get done. It's like using a screwdriver to cut roast beef. This is Luna Sean, the other half of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. That's the trashy one and the loony one together forever.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ivan Koloff. I'm here to tell you about Mike Talking Trash. With the Trash, 7 to 10. Tuesday night, you got to listen in. It's the best around, the best in town. Alright, hey, this is the Animal. One half of the world famous Cake in the Road Warriors. Listen to them. If you know what's good for you, you're listening to Trash Talking Radio, or else.
Everybody, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Hulk Hogan. Hulk, what do you got to say about Trash Talking Radio?
Well, I gotta say that I just bought Trash Talking Radio. You're out of the picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch because what you gonna do when Hulk Hogan's brand new Trash Talking Radio runs wild on you?
This is the Vital Idol, and you're listening to Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10 on TrashTalkingRadio.com. And remember this, when the Vital Idol tells you, it's got to be true. And when it's on the internet, it's got to be real. It's Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10. I am the top of pop, the king of swing, the international rock star way above par, the host with the most, Mr. Tuesday Night, the Vital Idol, Classy Mike Trash, and thank you very much.
It is Trash Talking Radio. It is Tuesday night. It is the best night of the week, and it is Halloween. Holy cow. Halloween. You know, I'm going to scare y'all right now because, boom, there I am. So how's everyone doing? It's good to be back, and it's good to be anywhere. It's fantastic. So here we are. Hey, Tina. How you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. I'm surprised you're not out there trick-or-treating with the kids, or the kids trick-or-treating with you, or whatever. Anyway, it's fun. It's fun being out in the cold. Actually, I guess it's not real cold yet, but it's supposed to be really cold, I think, starting tomorrow. So that's coming nearer to us. And we're getting towards that winter time, which I don't like. Sucks. I hate the cold. But some people don't mind it. All right, now we're going to put this up there. And I'm actually, believe it or not, ready for the first time in a long time. You know, a lot of times I come on here and I think, oh, I can't get everything done, and then I got to extend it and make the intro longer, and I thought, oh, well, we're not going to make the intro longer. We're just going to try to do it while we're talking. But this time, I actually finished before we actually started the show. Well, actually, before I started the show. I think that's the word. Let's see, is this us? Let's see. Nope, it's not. Yeah, wait. That might be the one. Nope, that's the 20. Wait, is that the... Yeah, that is the right one. Okay, there we are. Okay, just wanted to enter the YouTube one. Just no one ever chats too much in the YouTube, so I use that one for emergencies. But okay, we're ready to rock and roll now, and we're ready to see what things happen. And just wondered if my sister's there today. She wasn't there last week because of an emergency. So, all right. Well, let's get into it. Since I don't know who's there and who isn't there. See, that's one thing. You can't really tell who's in the chat room, who isn't in the chat room. And you can't tell you can tell if there's people in the chat room, but you can't tell if you're watching the show from the outside of the chat room instead of inside the chat room. That's one thing that's really kind of screwy, because you can't really get a real idea of who's live and who isn't. Tell Doc I said hi to. I guess I missed his birthday, I think. Oh no, I did wish him a happy birthday. Anyway, let's get things rolling. And I started something last week I'm going to try to continue doing. So I have now a joke of the week. So here we go. See if you like it. A man went to a Halloween party dressed as a pirate. He had a wooden leg, a hook for an eye, and an eye patch. He looked very authentic and very scary. A woman approached him and said, "Wow, you look amazing. How did you lose your leg?" The pirate said, "Arrgh, I was sailing the high seas when a cannonball hit me leg, and it blew off." The woman said, "That's terrible. How did you lose your hand?" The pirate said, "Arrgh, I was fighting a shark when it bit me hand off and ripped it off." The woman said, "That's awful. And how did you lose your eye?" The pirate said, "Arrgh, I was looking up at the sky when a seagull pooped in my eye." And the woman said, "That's disgusting, but how did that make you lose your eye?" The pirate said, "Arrgh, it was me first day with the hook." So that is my joke of the day, and I made it festive for the day. So there you go. All right. Wow, I got a lot of people, obituaries, RIPs to do this week, because it seems like no one we did last week, so we had to have twice as many this week. So I had 5 deaths this week. Now, one of them is a little old because I missed it the first time, but I kind of felt she deserved to have some recognition because she had done so much. Now, I hadn't heard of either of the women in this, in my obituaries, but I did hear of all of the men that were in it. So we'll start out with let's see, I have to decide who I want to start with here. Let's see, we can do, I think we'll do the last one. I actually was working right up till hey, Christine. I'm about to do the obituaries. And there's Ann. Hey, now the gang's all here. Now I can actually feel good about doing things. All right, so I'm going to start with 2 you probably don't know, and the last 3 you do know. But the 2 that you don't know actually contributed a lot to the acting gig, so I felt they should be at least recognized. And I had not heard of either of the women, but I felt their stories were worth talking about. And the first one is a woman who I almost didn't do it because I was thinking I was going to run out of time, but I really tried my best to get these done because I really like these RIPs because it gets me, I have a little time to be creative with them usually, but I didn't this time. This time I was working on them pretty much close to showtime. So here's the first one. Her name is Piper Laurie. So here we go. hopefully. There we go.
Mother in Children of a Lesser God, 1986.
Well, that didn't work, right?
Which earned her another Oscar nomination for Best
I'm gonna have to
Supporting
start over
Actress.
because it didn't do it from the beginning. Oh wow, it didn't go yet. Oh, this is a premiere. So this is one. It was scheduled to start at 7. I don't know why it didn't start. What's the premiere? What do I do? 7 or 6? 7 or 8? Well, I'll start another one. I'll do the other one first. Rather than waste our time on this one, we'll do the other woman first, as us guys usually do. Let's hope I didn't screw all these up. Here we go. There you go.
Elaine DeVry, the actress who co-starred with Mickey Rooney in The Atomic Kid and was his fourth wife, died on September 20th.
By the way, this is somebody I never knew of before, but I felt she was pretty cool because she seemed to be in the business a lot deeper than I thought she was, and I didn't know that was Mickey Rooney's wife, his fourth wife, I guess it was. So, all right, here we go. Here we go with her name is Ellen DeVry. DeVry. That's what it is.
Elaine DeVry, the actress who co-starred with Mickey Rooney in The Atomic Kid and was his fourth wife, died on September 20th, 2023, at the age of 93. Her manager Patrick McMinn confirmed her death to The Hollywood Reporter, saying that Elaine was a lovely and gracious person who enjoyed her fans and her work. DeVry was born on January 10, 1930, in Compton, California, as Thelma Elaine Menken. She began modeling at the age of 15 and later attended Compton Junior College, where she was homecoming queen. She married her high school boyfriend, Dan Dosick, in 1948, but divorced him in 1952 after he was convicted of multiple robberies. She returned to California and worked as a car hop at the Dolores Drive-In on Wilshire Boulevard, where she met Rooney in 1952. They married that same year in Las Vegas and appeared together in The Atomic Kid, a sci-fi comedy about a man who survives a nuclear blast. They had 2 children, a son and a daughter, but divorced in 1958. DeVry continued her acting career under various names, such as Elaine Davis and Elaine White. She appeared in films such as China Doll, 1958, Mantrap, 1961, A Guide for the Married Man, 1967, Herbie Rides Again, 1974. She also guest starred in many TV shows, such as Perry Mason, 77 Sunset Strip, Bonanza, I Dream of Jeannie, Marcus Welby, MD, Dragnet, and Family Affair. DeVry was married twice more, to actor Will J. White from 1969 until his death in 1992, and to Patrick McMinn from 1996 until her death. She retired to Grants Pass, Oregon, where she enjoyed gardening and painting. DeVry will be remembered as a versatile and charming actress who worked with some of the biggest names in Hollywood. She was also a survivor of breast cancer and a supporter of animal rights. She was loved by her family, friends, and fans.
All right, that's one. So she was really interesting that, back in that time, women didn't get very prominent roles. They were all supporting roles. And I wonder what she would think. Well, she was in a lot of stuff, but I wonder what she would think of today's environment, how women have leading roles and can be in front and don't have to bow down to the man, you know. I found that was very interesting, that actual story of her life. The other one should hopefully be ready by now. So that's Elaine. So she was number one. And now the next one, hopefully, will be ready now. At least I can hope that will be the case. I didn't expect that one to not work for some reason. All right, you going to let me out of that? There you go. Okay. So that's it. Now Piper. What is going on with Piper? She should be ready by now. All right, now we are. Okay, good. All right. Now this woman, she did some amazing stuff. Actually, she worked up until 2018. Now she's from, I think she was 90-something when she died. So to be working till she was she was almost 90 when she worked last, and that's crazy when I think about how hard it is to find work, especially nowadays with so many actors and actresses out there. I would have thought that she would have. All right, what's going on? Why is this not giving me a full screen here? Should have given me a full screen by now. Well, let's try it again. Let's see if it does it. There it is. Okay. Now we're going to have a full screen this time? Or are we going to have... Oh, it looks like it's ready. Is it going to work? Hold on. All right. Oh, it says, premiere in progress. You're officially one of the first fans. Well, that's awesome. This is the one I spent a lot of time on, actually. Right before the show got started is when I finally finished it. So this one turned out to be a longer video than I expected it to be, but it's really worthwhile listening to. Here we go.
Piper Laurie, a versatile and acclaimed actress who earned 3 Oscar nominations for her roles in The Hustler, Carrie, and Children of a Lesser God, died on October 14, 2023, at her home in Los Angeles. She was 91. Laurie was born Rosetta Jacobs in Detroit, Michigan, on January 22, 1932, to Jewish immigrants from Poland and Russia. She began her acting career as a teenager, changing her name to Piper Laurie. She appeared in more than 20 films in the 1950s, mostly in light-hearted roles opposite stars like Tony Curtis, Rock Hudson, and Tyrone Power. Laurie moved to New York City in the late 1950s and pursued work on the stage and in television. She received critical acclaim for her performances in Twelfth Night, Days of Wine and Roses, and Winterset. She returned to Hollywood in 1961 to co-star with Paul Newman in The Hustler. Her portrayal of Sarah Packard, a troubled alcoholic who falls in love with Newman's character, earned her an Oscar nomination for Best Actress and a BAFTA award. Laurie took a hiatus from acting for 15 years after The Hustler, focusing on her personal life and social activism. She married Joan Morgenstern, a film critic, in 1962 and had a daughter, and Grace Morgenstern, in 1971. She divorced Morgenstern in 1982. She also participated in the civil rights and anti-Vietnam War movements. She made a comeback in 1976 with Carrie, a horror film based on Stephen King's novel. She played Margaret White, the fanatical and abusive mother of Carrie, Sissy Spacek, a telekinetic teenager who unleashes her powers at her prom. Her performance earned her an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress and a Golden Globe Award. Laurie continued to work steadily in film, television, and theater for the next 4 decades. Some of her notable roles include Helen Keller's mother in The Miracle Worker, 1979, Marlee Matlin's mother in Children of a Lesser God, 1986, which earned her another Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Molly Bolt's grandmother in Ruby Fruit Jungle, 1985. Catherine Martell in the cult series Twin Peaks, 1990 to 1991, which earned her a Golden Globe Award and 2 Emmy nominations. Mrs. Norman in Promise, 1986, which earned her an Emmy Award. Mrs. Ritter in The Thornbirds, 1983, which earned her another Emmy nomination. Dolly Talbot in The Grass Harp, 1995, which earned her an Unspeakable Award. Grandma Hershey in White Boy Rick, 2018. And Rose Muller in Snapshots, 2018. Laurie also appeared on Broadway in The Glass Menagerie, 1975. Mornings at 7, 2002. In A Little Night Music, 2013. She wrote an autobiography titled Learning to Live Out Loud, a memoir, 2011, in which she candidly shared her experiences as an actress and a woman. Laurie honored with various awards and recognitions throughout her career, including Harvard's Hasty Pudding Woman of the Year, 1962. A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, 1985. And the Women's Image Network Lifetime Achievement Award, 2009. She is survived by her daughter Anne Grace Morgenstern, her son-in-law Michael Cuesta, her grandchildren Samuel Cuesta and Piper Cuesta, and her sister Sherry Jacobs Cohen.
All right. There we go. That was the second one. Now, the interesting thing that they didn't talk about there is what her first marriage was to, she dated Ronald Reagan. And I thought that was really interesting. That was before he was president, and it was like in the 50s and stuff. But it was really interesting that, she could have been the first lady if she had stayed with him. So that's kind of an interesting thing. All right, next. This is a pretty big one. Richard Roundtree, which, okay, why is that one going?
Richard Roundtree, the actor who broke barriers as the first black action hero in the 1971 film Shaft and its sequels, died on October 24, 2023.
All right, there we go. Okay, Richard Roundtree, for those of you that don't know who he is, he's a groundbreaker, and you'll find his interesting, and most of us that are over, say, 40 probably know who he is because of some of the things he was in. So, without further ado, we will play Richard Roundtree.
Richard Roundtree, the actor who broke barriers as the first black action hero in the 1971 film Shaft and its sequels, died on October 24, 2023, at the age of 81. His manager Patrick McMinn confirmed his death to Variety, saying that Richard's work and career served as a turning point for African American leading men in film. The impact he had on the industry cannot be overstated. Roundtree was born on July 9, 1942, in New Rochelle, New York, to John and Catherine Roundtree. He attended New Rochelle High School, where he played for the undefeated and nationally ranked football team. He later dropped out of Southern Illinois University to pursue his acting career. He began his professional career as a model for Ebony Fashion Fair and Johnson Products. He then joined the Negro Ensemble Company, where he played the role of boxer Jack Johnson in the play The Great White Hope. He made his big screen debut in the hidden camera comedy What Do You Say to a Naked Lady? In 1970. But it was his portrayal of John Shaft, a tough-talking private detective who fought crime in Harlem, that catapulted him to stardom and made him a cultural icon. The film Shaft, directed by Gordon Parks and featuring the Oscar-winning theme song by Isaac Hayes, was a huge success and spawned 2 sequels, Shaft's Big Score in 1972 and Shaft in Africa in 1973. Roundtree reprised his role as Shaft in a CBS TV series in 1973-74 and in 2 more films, Shaft in 2000 and Shaft in 2019. Roundtree also appeared in many other films and television shows, such as Inchon, City Heat, Roots, Generations, Seven, Steel, Heroes, and Being Mary Jane. He received a Golden Globe nomination for New Star of the Year, Actor in 1972 and a NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture in 2001. Roundtree was also an advocate for breast cancer awareness and a survivor of the disease himself. He later spoke publicly about his experience and encouraged other men to get checked, mastectomy and chemotherapy. Roundtree is survived by his 5 children, Taylor, Morgan, John James, Kelly, and Richard Jr. He was married twice. To Mary Jane Grant from 1963 to 1973 and to Karen M. Chernia from 1980 to 1998. Roundtree will be remembered as a trailblazer who paved the way for other black actors and inspired generations of fans with his charisma, courage, and style. He was truly the epitome of cool. As he famously said in Shaft, "Don't let your mouth get your ass in trouble."
There you go. Richard Roundtree. So that's another guy that, I mean, I remember his stuff from Shaft, and then I used to remember, I used to love the song that they had for Shaft, and he's one mean mother, shut your mouth. I'm just talking about Shaft. You know, that's kind of funny. All right, so that's 3. This one's very, very sad to me, because this next guy, I love the stuff he did on TV. So here we go. This is Richard Mole. Another, guy that got to live a good life. I mean, the guy, I think he was 80 when he died. Actually, every one of these, except for one, got to be up in their 80s or 90s. So, all right, here we go. This is Richard Mole.
Richard Mole, the 6'8" actor who played the lovable bailiff Bull Shannon on the NBC sitcom Night Court and voiced the villainous Two-Face on Batman, the animated series, died on October 26, 2023, at the age of 80. His manager Patrick McMinn confirmed his death to Variety, saying that Richard was a gentle giant who brought joy and laughter to everyone he met. Mole was born on January 13, 1943, in Pasadena, California, the son of a lawyer and a nurse. He attended the University of California, Berkeley, where he was a member of the Kappa Alpha Order fraternity. He began his acting career as a model and a stage actor, appearing in plays such as The Great White Hope and The Trial of the Catonsville Nine. He went on to play various roles in movies such as Brigham, Caveman, The Sword and the Sorcerer, Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin, House, and But I'm a Cheerleader. He also guest starred in numerous TV shows, such as Happy Days, Mork and Mindy, Babylon 5, Highlander, the series, Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, and Married, with Children. But he was best known for his role as Bull Shannon, the towering and bald-headed court officer who worked with Judge Harry Stone, Harry Anderson, and prosecutor Dan Fielding, John Larroquette, on Night Court. The show ran for 9 seasons from 1984 to 1992 and earned Mole 4 Emmy nominations for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. Mal also lent his deep voice to many animated characters, most notably Harvey Dent, Two-Face, the former district attorney turned criminal mastermind on Batman, the animated series and its spin-offs. He also voiced characters in video games such as Fallout, Brotherhood of Steel, The Bard's Tale, and Kingdom Hearts 2. Mal was married 3 times and had 2 children from his first marriage to Laura Klass. He retired to Big Bear Lake, California, where he enjoyed fishing and painting. Mal will be remembered as a talented and charismatic actor who brought humor and humanity to his roles. He was adored by his fans and respected by his peers. He was truly a one-of-a-kind performer.
All right, that's 3. Or no, that's 4. It's 4. And then the last one, which is going to hurt a lot of people, unfortunately. If you didn't know, you will now. I really hate to even tell people about this one, because I know a lot of people are upset about this one. Yep, Matthew Perry. Sucks, because he was, oh man. I mean, this one, I know a lot of people who are upset about this one. And, I'll tell you, when you see these pictures of him, it's crazy looking at these pictures and thinking about how his look changed a lot. I mean, he went from being a really, really gorgeous guy, me speaking out of not knowing what a gorgeous guy looks like, to looking like he was really beat up and like a homeless guy almost. But that's because he went through a lot of things, and it shows that money does not fix everything. But anyway, all right, here we go. This is the Matthew Perry, and very, very sad. So here we go.
Matthew Perry, the actor who charmed audiences across the globe as the sarcastic roommate Chandler Bing on the popular sitcom Friends, died on October 28, 2023. At the age of 54. The impact he had on the industry and the fans cannot be overstated. Perry was born in Williamstown, Massachusetts, on August 19, 1969. His mother, Suzanne Marie Morrison, was a Canadian journalist who served as press secretary to former Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. His father, John Bennett Perry, was an American actor and former model. His parents divorced before his first birthday, and his mother married Canadian-born broadcast journalist Keith Morrison. He was raised by his mother mostly in Ottawa, Ontario, but he also lived briefly in Toronto and Montreal. He attended the Buckley School in Sherman Oaks, California, where he graduated in 1987. He began his acting career as a model and a stage actor. Perry's first credited role was a small part in 240 Robert in 1979 as a child actor. Shortly after moving to Los Angeles, Perry began auditioning for roles. Perry made guest appearances on Not Necessarily the News in 1983, Charles in Charge in 1985, and Silver Spoons in 1986. He went on to play various roles in movies such as Fools Rush In, Almost Heroes, The Whole 9 Yards, The Whole 10 Yards, The Ron Clark Story, and 17 Again. He also guest starred in numerous TV shows, such as Happy Days, Mork and Mindy, Babylon 5, Highlander, the series, Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, and Married with Children, but he was best known for his role as Chandler Bing, the witty and sarcastic friend who worked in advertising and later statistical analysis on Friends. The show ran for 10 seasons from 1994 to 2004 and earned Perry a Screen Actors Guild Award and 4 Emmy nominations for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. He also co-wrote 3 episodes of the show and became one of the highest-paid actors on television.
His chemistry with his co-stars Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, and David Schwimmer made Friends one of the most popular and influential sitcoms of all time. Perry also co-created, co-wrote, executive produced, and starred in several other TV shows, such as Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, Mr. Sunshine, Go On, and The Odd Couple. Perry stated that he became an alcoholic at age 14. In February 2001, Perry paused productions of Friends and Serving Sarah for 2 months so that he could enter inpatient rehabilitation for his addictions to Vicodin, methadone, amphetamines, and alcohol. In 2018, Perry spent 5 months in a hospital for a gastrointestinal perforation. Doctors told his family that Perry had a 2% chance of survival. He later spoke publicly about his experience and encouraged others to seek help. He received a Champion of Recovery Award from the White House in 2013 for his efforts to help people overcome addiction. Perry was married twice. To actress Julia Roberts from 1995 to 1996 and to actress Lizzie Kaplan from 2006 to 2012. He had no children. Perry will be remembered as a talented and charismatic actor who brought humor and humanity to his roles. He was adored by his fans and respected by his peers. He was truly a one-of-a-kind performer.
That's crazy stuff. When I think about that, I mean, he really looked horrible in some of these pictures.
He received
like there.
a Champion of Recovery
that
Award
one in
from
the lower corner there. Where's it at? Where's the? There's a bunch of them in here. It shows how when you live a life of indulgence like that, where you're taking those drugs and stuff and drinking a lot, how hard it is on your body. This one here, I mean, that he looks older than me. He's younger than me. So it's like I kind of like feel bad. Oh, that one there is really horrible. There, he looks like a grandpa. Actually, he looks like grandpa's grandpa. But really sad. It's sad a lot that it shows that, when you have money, it doesn't matter because you're still able to abuse your body. In fact, easier to abuse your body. And I mean, he's gone through quite a bit. In fact, it was weird because I was reading his Wikipedia page, and it shows some really strange stuff. Some of the stuff that like I read that he, who Trudeau is in. Let me see, where's it at? Where's the his early life? Okay, here we go. So it talks here that at age 10, Perry started misbehaving. He stole money, smoked, let his grades slip, and beat up a fellow student and future Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. So I'm sure Justin Trudeau is glad to see him go, but, just kind of weird. Began drinking at 14 and was drinking every day by age 18, practiced tennis often 10 hours a day, became a top-ranked junior player in Canada with the possibility of a tennis career. However, at 15, they moved from Ottawa to Los Angeles to live with his father, and competition was tougher. So it says here, but, just kind of really strange. I mean, he was the kind of guy that looked like, a troublemaker more than anything. But I never would have got that from the stuff that I knew, watching the Friends and all that stuff. But he was on all kinds of stuff that I probably saw him on. He was, he was on three episode arc of Growing Pains, portraying Carol Seaver's boyfriend Sandy, who dies in the hospital after drunk driving, which probably was close to his real life. Charles in Charge, I never watched that show, but not necessarily in the news. I used to watch that occasionally, and it was just just a really bizarre thing that he ended up, the weird stuff is when you start reading the personal life where he's talking about when he got better, he started trying to help people that had addiction. So he bought a house in L.A. He bought, it says here, he bought a condo in Sierra Towers, purchased by Elton John, a house in Hollywood Hills, a house in Malibu, and a cottage in the Pacific Palisades. He purchased a condo occupying the top floor of the Century in Los Angeles for $20 million, selling it to Nick Molar for $21 in 2021, and who sold it to Rihanna in 2023. But the thing I found that was interesting, so the one place that he bought, let's see here. Here it says he became addicted to Vicodin after a jet ski accident, and then he completed a 28-day rehab at the Betty Ford Clinic. He dropped his weight, I can't even imagine, as low as 128 pounds. I mean, here I'm at my lowest weight I've ever been. I mean, I'm, other than when I was born, I mean, but I'm like 200 and, I fluctuate between 236 and 240. He was another 120 pounds lighter than me. I can't even imagine. I mean, he wasn't a short guy, I would imagine, but to be 120 pounds, 128 pounds, 130 pounds. But he took as many as 55 Vicodin a day. At 30, he suffered from alcohol-induced pancreatitis. And so, I mean, he was a mess. I never knew he was that. I mean, I knew he had some problems, but I never knew he was that much of a mess. And the thing about him almost dying in 2018, he had a 2% chance of survival. I can't believe he made it past that, because if he had 2% chance, that's a pretty good chance that you're going to die. So, but to show how crazy addiction is, I mean, they could do a study on him and scare people, I think, with what they find out. He faked he's lucky he didn't go to jail for some of this stuff. 2 years after he got out of this 2% chance of living, while attending rehab in Switzerland, he faked pain to get a prescription for 1,800 milligrams of oxycodone per day, and was having a ketamine infusion. He was given propofol, which is what killed Michael Jackson, in conjunction with surgery, which stopped his heart for 5 minutes, resulting in cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR, resulting in 8 broken ribs. He paid $175,000 for a private jet to take him to Los Angeles to get more drugs. When the doctors there refused, Perry spent another $175,000 to take the private jet back to Switzerland. He estimated that $9 million was spent on his addiction, including 14 stomach surgeries, 15 stays in rehab, and therapy twice a week for 30 years. He also said that he attended approximately 6,000 Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. I mean, that's just insane. Insane. I mean, I guess when you have money, you can do that stuff, but I just can't imagine I can't imagine being addicted to anything that bad that I would want to give up that much money and that much, and put yourself in that much. I mean, he must have had a lot of demons. That's fine. All I can say about that is that he apparently had a lot of demons. So, and then he became it says here, he was a celebrity spokesperson for the National Association of Drug Court Professionals in support of funding drug courts. He received Champion of Recovery Award in May 2013 from the White House Office of National Drug Policy for opening Perry House, a rehab center in his former mansion in Malibu. And then it says in 2015 he sold the mansion and relocated its services. Oh, man. It's just crazy. But he had a heck of a career going in, and he showed that being successful doesn't always mean the good things, because his success really came to his successful. His success made him afford his addiction, and I wonder how it would have been if he didn't have the money, and if he hadn't gone the route of Hollywood. And I don't know. It's hard to say. You said it only works if you work it, and he did not want to work it. That's true. He was addicted to the notoriety of being sick. I really don't understand that notoriety. But it's sad. It's sad because he was so young, and he shouldn't have died that way. And I mean, not that maybe he should have, because maybe his purpose in this planet was to make people aware of the addictions. And it's really hard. It's hard to fathom. I mean, that picture of him, he just looks like a guy, a homeless guy on the street. And it's sad. It's really sad to me. Of all the people that died on this list, he was the youngest. He was probably the most successful at his art. And I don't know. It makes me sad. I mean, the others, at least the others, they lived a life, and you know, they lived of natural cause. They died of natural causes, and it's sad. He got feelings of pleasure from being helpless. See, I don't understand, because I just don't understand, I guess. I will never understand that stuff, because I struggled all my life to do something with my life. And when I see someone that had it all, I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine that. It's just really, it's mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing to me because I used to watch Friends, and to me, I thought, oh, the perfect life. Of course, that's not the life he was living, but I don't know. It just blows me away when I think about him losing everything like that. And he didn't lose it like he lost it because, you know, he can't afford things. He lost it because he could. And I guess that's the part that makes me sad, you know. And like I said, all four of the other people died of natural causes, and they were all in their 80s. So they did, you know, what they were supposed to do. And, you know, the story about Hollywood is that, you know, the excesses of Hollywood are going to kill you. And in many cases it does. But the other four people survived that. And I'm sad about Richard Mall too. You know, I watched the new Night Court, and I wondered why he wasn't on it. And I guess, you know, when we watch that stuff, we think, oh, well, then we should have the same people on it. And I don't think about it that they're all older. I want to see Bull from when he was, like, you know, on it before. I don't want to see him get older. I don't want to see any of those people get older. But, you know, the only one that came back was John Larroquette, and he certainly got older too. And he wasn't going to do the job because he didn't want to be that sleazy lawyer he was before. And so that was kind of funny that he made that deal that he would come back to the show if he could redeem himself for his earlier character. So that was kind of funny that he did that. But anyway, Richard Mall, he was 6'8". That's a big guy, and he was I enjoyed his work when I saw it, and then DeVry, I never heard of her before, but she seemed like a really, really cool woman, and she was 93 when she died. Mickey Rooney, wow, that, the fact that she was able to become as popular as she was in the time frame that she was. She was born in 1930, so, women did not have that many rights back then. And so, and it was funny to me that, she was married to her high school boyfriend in 1948, and she divorced him in 52 when he was convicted of multiple robberies. You got to think, what was going on? Did she know he was robbing places? Did she just or did she not even know? And that's kind of weird to think about that. And she wasn't too proud to go back to working in as a car hop waitress. So, yeah, it's a different type of world out there when you're talking about these kind of people, because they spent their whole life working and trying to do their art and stuff. But Richard Roundtree, he was like a huge star. I remember him. He was a breakout star. Back when black actors didn't have many opportunities, he was able to break through and carve out a great life for himself and do something that a lot of the black actors today don't realize. If it weren't for him, they may not have ever become as big of an actor as they are. But he paved the way for a lot of people to actually become actors, and that's cool. And so there were some special people in this week's lineup that sadly are not with us anymore. So, all right, on to the news. Well, the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to tell everybody I did my first voiceover audition. Now, I haven't done any voiceover auditions yet, and decided I was going to try it, see if I can do it. And so I did 2 of them, but the one I didn't get in time, so I sadly did the one for nothing, but I decided that one was going to go on my works that I can do for, if someone wants to hear my voice for voiceover. But I did do one, and I want to let you hear the voiceover that I did. It's it was kind of funny. I didn't think I was going to do it, but you never know what's going to happen. Because everyone tells me I have a good voice and whatever. So this first one I did, I'm just going to play. They're short. The first one I did was called Healthcare. So I was kind of playing with this one around, and I got on I was getting messaged back and forth, and I was like chatting with somebody, and I don't remember who it was. It was some guy I was chatting with that he kept asking me questions, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, I know what it was. So all right. So there was a band I was jamming with that I was let go. We were going to do a thing, and there was a discrepancy. I don't even know what I was let go for, to be honest with you. The real reason I was let go, I have no clue. But I figured I could be a cool guy and just help them find another singer. So I posted their stuff, and I was trying to do this audition at the same time that this guy was sending me messages asking me questions about this band. So because of him, I missed the deadline by this is seriously, it had to be by 8 p.m. I finished it. I finished the script. I finished the recording and the editing of the recording at 7:59, and I went to upload it, and it was 8:05. No, it wasn't 8:05. It was 8 o'clock and 5 seconds. I missed the date by 5 seconds, 5, 10, maybe 15 seconds. So I didn't get to enter this, but this is the first one I did, and it's called Healthcare. Oh, hopefully. Oh, I got to hit the right button. All right. This is the Healthcare audition.
Where can you find world-class healthcare that's not so far away? Where can you find cutting-edge technology? Where can you find some of the city's top doctors? This is healthcare. This is high-quality, affordable care for all New Yorkers, with concierge services and everything you'd expect from a leading medical center. Health centers of excellence and modern facilities are leading the way. Where can you find comprehensive facilities from people who care? This is healthcare. So where do you get your healthcare?
So that was kind of fun, and I was trying to finish that as quick as possible, and unfortunately, I didn't make the deadline. So that was sad, and it was next time I will have to tell them, look, I've got to do it. I'm doing an audition, so shut up. Because I obviously could have done better if I had the availability to put it in before 8:05 or 8:15 or whatever. It was 8 and seconds. I mean, literally seconds. Because I thought, I got it open yet. I can still put it in. It said, nope, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is a hard deadline. So that was one. And then the other one I did was, this one actually did get in. They wanted me to do a script, and they didn't give me a script. They said, make your own script up. So I did this one called Bucket List, and I created this script from, it was a comedy script. So I don't have any idea if that's going to get anywhere, but this is the Bucket List voiceover, and I think it's funny.
Do you hate your life? Do you wish you could escape your boring and miserable routine? Do you want to do something crazy and stupid before you die? Well, you're in luck. Introducing the Bucket List Club. The Bucket List Club is a new and insane service that helps you do all the things you've always wanted to do, but never had the guts or the brains to do. Whether you wanted to jump off a bridge, wrestle a bear, eat a live octopus, or run naked in Times Square, the Bucket List Club can make it happen. But there's a twist. You have to do it with a total stranger. That's right. The Bucket List Club will match you with someone who has the same bucket list as you, but is completely different from you in every other way. You'll have to deal with them, tolerate them, or maybe even like them. Sounds fun, right? Well, it's not. It's a nightmare. Just ask Bob and Alice, two of our unhappy customers who joined the Bucket List Club last month. Bob and Alice had the same bucket list, but they were complete strangers. He was old and grumpy. She was young and bubbly. He was serious and uptight. She was fun and relaxed. He liked jazz and crossword puzzles. She liked rap and video games. But despite their differences, they had one thing in common. They hated each other. And that's what they did. All along the way, they annoyed each other, embarrassed each other, sabotaged each other, and made each other miserable. And they fell in love. So what are you waiting for? Join the Bucket List Club today and find your worst enemy. The Bucket List Club. It's not just a service, it's a disaster. Coming soon to a theater near you.
So that's the one that I did for, I think it was a movie trailer that they were booking somebody for. So they wanted somebody for this week, and I gave them this yesterday. So I don't know. I just think it would be, it was kind of interesting because it gave me a chance to change the way that I do things as far as that goes. And so I kind of think it'll be okay. So, all right. And what did I do? I think I did one audition this week. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what it was. Wow. I can't remember what I did. I did one audition this week. Let's see. Now I don't remember what it is. Maybe I didn't do one. I thought I did. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see. Gotta figure out which one I did. You like that one? Did you think it was funny? I mean, I kind of thought it was kind of funny. Oh, here it is, Dr. Branchless. Yeah, that's right. I did one audition. It was for Dr. Branchless, and I kind of did it to. I kind of didn't like how it came out because the way I set my new audition area up. Unfortunately, I set it up so that I wasn't looking in the right direction, and I could tell it's not going to get anywhere. But yeah, it was worth trying. Here's the one, Dr. Branchless, and it was actually not too bad, but I'm looking. You can tell I'm not looking the right direction because of the camera where it's at and all that. So it's okay, but it's not.
Class of my trash, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm reading the part of Dr. Branchless.
Oh, whoa. Hold on. Shut up.
Class of my trash, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Shut up.
And I'm reading the part of Dr. Branchless.
All right, stop.
Dr. Branchless, thank you for your time. Do you mind if I record this conversation solely for journalism?
Okay, now we're going to hear Dr. Branchless now. Let's,
And I'm reading the part of Dr. Branchless.
Dr. Branchless, thank you for your time. Do you mind if I record this conversation solely for journalistic purposes?
I do not mind.
Very good then. I'll get right into it immediately. For the tape recording, can you explain your name and qualifications?
My name is Dr. Branchless. I am a biologist, chemist, a metaphysician, and the father of necrobiology. For my work, I've been given many nicknames over the years, such as Dr. Death, Reaper Medic, the Grim Remedy Physician, the Final Relief Doctor, Last Breath Specialist, the Passageway Pioneer, the Twilight Transitionist, and my personal favorite, the Exit Maestro.
I like the Exit Maestro also. Could you explain what you have contributed to the scientific community over the course of your career?
Of course, but before I tell you everything, I might ask that some parts of our conversation are censored for the general audience.
Of course.
I will give you a prior warning to censoring information, but I request you to stop the recording. There are many people who are dangerous and selfish enough to dearly want the information. I want to tell you for the greater good of our society. It is imperative that nobody can know besides myself. It is my burden. I will take it to my grave. It is written nowhere, and for good reason.
All right.
I have brought 14 people back from the death, varying 1 minute and 13 days post-mortem.
Oh, incredible. How did you do it?
So that was Dr. Branchless. That was kind of I don't know. I wasn't real happy with that one, but I don't know. It was what it was. Okay, I think I got them all now. Let me see here. I can kill this. The bucket list. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's, it's now time for other news. All right. Okay, so all you girls out there, everyone, what's weird? What, the Dr. Branchless one? It was kind of a fun one, but but it was kind of weird. I didn't feel like it went as good as it should. It didn't go as smoothly as I thought it would go. So, okay, most of the women out there or most of the women I know, were really tragically distraught by an event that happened, I guess it was the early 2000s. So they're making a movie about it. So they're going to, The Crown Season 6 trailer focuses on Princess Diana tragedy. And I found that, I know that when this happened, I mean, it messed a lot of women up. They thought that she was so cool because she was, a gorgeous woman that was, where am I? What do you mean? Can't hear me? Can you hear me or can't you? Where am I? Am I not on the screen? Oh, okay. Where am I? Hey, wait a minute. Where am I? I don't know. Something happened to me. That's weird. Oh, my camera's off. Why is it off? Ah, it's good you said that. Well, that's pretty weird. Why did my camera die? All right, let's take a look and see if we can find what happened. The camera was working up until then. Why did it stop working? All right, give me a second here, and we're going to fix this camera for whatever issues. Okay, go there. Wow, it just totally lost the camera. That's really weird. Okay, let's see if it comes back on. Well, came back on, sort of. Well, let's see here. Gotta do a thing here. See if it comes back on the way it's supposed to come on. All right, now I gotta figure out why that's like that. All right, now I found me. Now I just got to figure out why I'm so close. All right, it's not working. What are you doing? All right, okay, so I love these problems when I'm expecting no problem. Hey, now you get to at least see me. That's kind of ugly. I can't figure out why that happened. All right, now I gotta zoom out or something. That's in, so this has got to be out. Okay, keep going, keep going. That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. All right. All right, I'm gonna try a whole new input here. So this is not working right. So I'm gonna put a whole new input. Now you're gonna get to see how quick I can react. Oh, holy cow! What in the world's going on here? All right, so close. I got like 10 open versions of this. That could be one of the problems. I don't know why it's like that. And here we go. All right, I guess I could start talking about something then, so that you're not listening to me ramble here. So this weekend I auditioned for a band, actually as a temporary singer for this band. And when I left there, it seemed really well. It seemed like everything was going well, and it seemed like they would be happy with me, and it seemed to maybe be what I wanted. But then they, as I left there, talking to, trying to decide if I would take that if they offered it to me, because it sounded like they were gonna offer it to me. I was pretty sure that they were gonna offer it to me, and so when I left there, I just I was doing a little soul searching, deciding if this is what I really, really want or not. Because, I mean, if I'm going to commit to a band, I want to commit to them the right way. So I talked to the band, and it was only going to be temporary. Their singer is going to have a kidney transplant, so they need someone to fill in. So I figured that could be a cool thing. It'll give me a chance to go out there and do some songs and enjoy singing again. And I didn't like the music they were doing. They were doing some really crazy stuff like the Archies, which I thought was really it was really strange that they were putting the Archies out. But, I've been in a band that have done weirder things, or weird things, I should say. So I thought, okay, can I deal with the Archies thing? So all the way home, I was thinking, can I really do this? Do I really want to be in an Archies band? And And I was, I thought about it, and I kept thinking about it, and I talked to people about it. Should I do this? Would I be happy with this? All the things that I think about. And I didn't really come up with a solution. I didn't really decide. So the next morning I woke up and they said no. So I guess the answer is I am not in this band. And the reason is that so one of the reasons that I didn't really want to do it is because they wanted to dress up like 60s hippies. And they wanted everybody to dress up like 60s hippies. So that meant me too. And I didn't really think that I would want to do that. That just, to me, didn't really, I don't know, I didn't see myself as a 60s hippie, and I didn't really want to be a 60s hippie. So I kind of said, nah, I'm not really sure that I want to do that. So I don't know. The more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, I could, since it's only temporary, I could just do it and it would be okay. But I don't know. I just kept having second thoughts about it. But they decided that they decided if I were to be in the band, and this is my choice, totally my choice as to whether or not to be in the band. They said if I want to be in the band, I have to change my name. And that pretty much told me exactly what I needed to know. And that is, I'm not going to be in this band because I need to really, I felt that that's just, it's one thing when you're asking someone to sing for you, in your band, but if you're saying that, you cannot be you. They said that the Oscar thing is too distracting, and they didn't like the name, and I said, well, I don't know what well, I didn't talk to them actually, so I can't really say any more than this, but that is what they decided, was that if I can't abide by that, I don't get the opportunity. And I'm okay with it because, it really comes down to how committed you are to what they want you to do. And to me, that's not really what I want to do. So I don't want to be, I don't want to compromise myself. They don't like, well, I shouldn't say they, because I know it's probably not they, it's probably just the guy in charge. Because this guy in charge, as good as he is, he's not as good as he thinks he is. He's a decent player. He's not a great player. He's a decent player, but he's not the quality of musician that I was hoping to find. The one thing that they have that I was interested in was I wanted something with management, and they have management, and they have someone that books their band. So, that part there was exciting to me because I've always had to book my own bands. So, but it comes down to, I am a 60s baby, but that just means that I was like one. I wasn't listening to the music I was listening to. Some of the stuff they did was pretty cool. That's the other thing. So before this all happened, when we were going to jam to see if I was good enough, quote unquote, we were setting up, and I said, do you mind if I record this? He said, no, I don't. No one can record it. I thought, well, what? I just thought I'd ask because common courtesy, but they were like, the guitarist didn't want anybody to record it. And I'm like, well, how do you learn? You gotta be able to listen to what you did. And yeah, I mean, if his main objection was Oscar the Grouch, that's fine. I wouldn't wear the Oscar the Grouch. and I would have worn something hippie-ish for that time period because I wasn't planning on staying with them. I think they actually were planning on keeping me, wanting me to play with them full time. I think they changed their opinion of what the other guy, about the other guy coming back, and that was kind of sad on his part. Because I only went there with the idea that I was going to be temporary. And also, they weren't further along than I thought they were. I mean, they weren't as far along as I should say as I thought they were. But he said he didn't want anybody recording it because somebody recorded one of the sessions and played it on the internet. Well, that's not the reason for my recording of this stuff. My reason for recording this stuff is to learn the stuff the right way. So I kind of thought it was weird that he was weirded out about that, that he thought that I was going to do something with the recording that was not cool. So anyway, I would have liked to have recorded that stuff because I did a lot of songs I've never, ever done. In fact, I've never done any of those songs. And some of the songs that I did that was really cool, I got to play an Elvis song that I always wanted to sing. And that was awesome. I liked that a lot. And I got to play Long Tall Woman, which is kind of cool. That's a really cool song that I like. And, you know, but they play some stupid stuff too, like Archie's, the Monkees, stuff like that I just don't really, I think that's childish music. But they're trying to be middle of the road. They're trying to appeal to any crowd. So, you know, it just didn't, it wasn't good. I was really seriously considering not taking it. So it doesn't matter to me that I got not hired. Like I said, I was trying to do him a favor, and at the same time, while doing him a favor, keep my voice going and stuff like that. So I'm not super disappointed that I didn't get it, but I'm disappointed at the reason I didn't get it. He didn't like the name, and he just said, "You're going to have to change your name." And I thought, well, that's weird. I mean, if you're doing a band, a 60s band, that would mean saying to Bowser of Sha Na Na, "You can't have that name." I mean, to me, it's the same thing. And, but you know, I understand. I mean, I understand why he said it, and that was his opinion, and that's fine. But I did get to meet some pretty cool people. I mean, the bass player was awesome. The keyboard player was pretty cool, but he didn't do too well. He didn't really play very well. And it could be because he wasn't prepared. It could be because he's not that good. I don't know. I couldn't tell. The guitar player was okay. He was, you know, he was probably better than, well, he was definitely better than the people I jam with on Wednesday, but not better than the old geezers that come out on Wednesday. He was better than them. He probably wasn't as good as Guy that I jammed with in February, and he definitely wasn't of the caliber that what I would put together. I mean, I would use him because he was there, but I would really want somebody that was better than him to play in my band if it was my band. But he was okay. He was pretty good, but not great. And the drummer wasn't even there. We were jamming without a drummer, so that made it really challenging. And but it was okay. It was an experience. I did a lot of songs I've never even considered doing. I'm Your Venus was one that I did that I was surprised I could sing. Actually, I was really surprised I was able to sing a lot of those songs, because a lot of those songs were a lot higher than my vocal range used to be. So I don't know what it is why I'm able to hit those nowadays, but there's something something to be said about my voice getting able to hit higher notes than I've ever hit. So I kind of hope that I can, I mean, this is not the first time that I've heard that that my vocals are great. I mean, I don't, this sounds egotistical, not meant to sound that way. But, you know, after I left that band in January, February, March, when I left the band, I think I left the band in March, they had me feeling like I couldn't sing a note. And so I didn't really jump into another band for a while. And when I started working with the Geezer band, the Wednesday night band, they all said I was great. And I was like, oh, yeah, but you're not all, you know, together. So, you know, I didn't know if I really believed that. And then as we went and I started doing these songs that I couldn't imagine singing, but I started sounding good, and I started thinking, okay, maybe I'm not so bad. And then when I got together with those guys a couple weeks ago, and we were doing those songs, I was like, wow, this is sounding pretty good. That's why you record things. That's why I wanted to record at every practice, because the only way you know if you improve, I mean, okay, so when you're singing, you think sometimes that it's a great performance, and then you listen to the playback and you say, oh, that's not so good. But if you actually have the recording, you know what you need to work on. You know where you didn't do well. You know where you did do well. You know what songs you might not even be able to sing. You know, so you think about that. And I usually use those for understanding if I'm doing okay or not. And so when I think about where I'm at right now, lately I've been listening to some of the stuff that I've done, and I've realized that I'm a lot better than I thought I was, because, you know, really I thought I was maybe average. But some of the songs I was jamming with the really good band that didn't want to keep me because of whatever reason, it just makes me think that maybe I've matured as a musician now, and I'm not the guy that I thought I was. But with Ken never really, he worked the songs around me rather than me work around the songs. So he made sure that things were in my range. So I didn't have to worry about increasing my range. But I started singing differently towards the end of our tenure together, and became more powerful in my vocals, and found that I could sing higher and longer. And then with me losing weight, I've been able to sing longer without getting tired. So I don't know, maybe I just found my groove, and so I don't know, we'll find out over the next period of time. But it just kind of sucks because I've lost, I didn't lose the one band because I was never in the one band. I was just auditioning for the one band. And they gave me the option of being in that band if I wanted to give up my name, which I'm not going to do. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll just keep going and I'll find somebody eventually. So, all right. Anyway, let's go back to now that I'm back. I don't know what happened there, but I'm back. And it seems like I seem darker up there. Let's see. Let's see if we can change this. Now that makes me a little brighter. Okay. That looks a little better. And, all right, so here we go. We're back to the show now. I'm not gonna spend too much time. Actually, I did already spend too much time on it, but I'm going to now talk about what I wanted to talk about was this. I was talking about when back in the early 2000s, all the women that I know, were really upset when Princess Diana died. Now, I don't want to sound like an evil person here, but she was a woman, and she was not even our girl. She was just a woman, and people were so upset that she died, like women couldn't even function correctly. And it was just, oh wow, here's another person that died. This guy was 50. Tyler Christopher died at 50. Huh. Well, he's a new guy that I didn't know about that died. He must have just died. Anyway, she, oh, freaking A, I just screwed this up. Now that I've been rambling on. So, I mean, it's one thing that to be upset because she died. It's, yeah, I mean, you know, when people die too young, because she died fairly young, you know, it's okay to be upset about that. But these women were really, really messed up, and like it was their sister or something. And so it was just, I mean, like Pam was messed up, and all the girls I know, every girl I knew got really, really freaked out because she died. And I kept saying, well, it wasn't even our girl. It was a British girl, and it's, you know, I guess I don't understand because I'm not a woman, and everyone wants that fairy tale ending with the being a princess and all that stuff. I guess that's what it was. But anyway, so here's the deal. The 6th and final season trailer for the Netflix drama series The Crown leans heavily on Elizabeth. What the? Oh, come on, I can't see. Turn it off. Elizabeth Debicki's portrayal of Princess Diana. This is going to be the biggest thing that any of us have ever seen, according to this. In the official trailer, The Crown 6th and final season, the rest of the royal family takes a back seat to the tragic story of Princess Diana, who is shown struggling with her global fame, being hounded by the paparazzi, and beginning her ill-fated car ride with Dodi Fayed. I remember that as if it happened only, I don't know, in the early 2000s. A glimpse of the accident's aftermath is shown too, with Prince Charles, now King Charles, intoning this is going to be the biggest thing that any of us have ever seen. The final season will cover the years 97 through 2005, and it's being split into 2 parts. The first 4 episodes will drop November 16th and depict a relationship blossoming between Princess Diana and Dodi Fayed before the fateful car journey has consequences. The final 6 episodes will drop December 14th and will feature the wedding of Princess Charles to Camilla Parker Bowles, and also focusing on Charles' sons, William and Harry. The season also stars Imelda Staunton as Queen Elizabeth II and Jonathan Pierce as Prince Philip. So for all you girls that are into that thing, have at it. I'm not going to watch it. But I know that there are a lot of women that would like to see it because, you know, it's a thing about being a princess or something. All right, next. We got... Okay. Oh, yeah, this is pretty big. I remember where I was in 1980 when we found out that John Lennon was murdered. I don't know if it was 80 or not. Yeah, it was. By the confessed killer, Mark David Chapman. Now, this is interesting because Mark David Chapman has 3 names, like most killers do, and also because he keeps coming up for parole, and he doesn't ever make it out, fortunately. So the 3-parter will recall the Beatles icon tragic death by confessed killer Mark David Chapman in 1980. Kiefer Sutherland is going to narrate John Lennon murder documentaries, so that's going to be interesting. I wasn't a big fan of I mean, not the way some people are. I was somewhat a fan of Lennon, but not not to the extent that a lot of people do. A lot of people get. Yeah, it says here, Kiefer Sutherland has tapped to narrate the 3-part docuseries for Apple TV about the tragic death of John Lennon, the legendary singer-songwriter shot and killed in 1980 by confessed killer Mark David Chapman at the entrance of the building where he lived. John Lennon, Murder Without a Trial, will look at the investigative and conviction of Chapman, who stalked the famed Beatles band member before gunning him down, and promises exclusive eyewitness interviews and previously unseen crime scene photos. I realize that John Lennon was a very big star, and people really loved his music. I liked his music. I didn't love his music, but I realized how important the Beatles were and how important each of the Beatles are. And that we only have 2 Beatles left out of the 4. But he wasn't my favorite Beatle out of the 3. Out of the 4. I think my favorite Beatle is probably George Harrison. But you can't look at any of those Beatles and say they weren't important to the music industry, because they were. They knocked down doors and they gave people a chance to become as big as they are. And actually, I did a Beatles song this weekend too. I did. Let's see. I don't even remember. But it was. It says the doc. Who would have thought that Yoko Ono would still be alive? The docuseries comes up more than 50 years after the Beatles broke up, and 43 years after Lennon was fatally shot with as he and his wife Yoko Ono. See, he should have shot Yoko Ono maybe, and then he'd still be around. But hey, I don't know. I just think Yoko Ono should not ever be allowed to be in a recording studio. But that's just my opinion, not necessarily that of of anybody else. Just that she wrote some of the worst songs I've ever heard, and whereas he wrote some of the best songs ever heard. So, yeah. What is this? Who beat a teacher? Oh, wow. That might be worth checking out. I might have to read this one next. It's just kind of strange to think about that this person, hold on, I don't think I put it on Facebook yet. I want to make sure that this is on Facebook, because there's lots of people that like Lennon. There we go. All right, next one. All right, let's see. This is the article I was talking about where Matthew Perry cheated death many times over the years. And no, I'll tell you, he did. I was surprised with as many addiction issues as he had that he did live to be 54. It's such a shame that he died at such a young age, but he should have been on everybody's death watch. And look at the difference between, here he's probably in his maybe 30s, and he looks pretty good. He looks pretty sharp. But then you look at this one, they're like, that looks like his grandfather. It's horrible. It's just horrible to think that guy, is not around anymore. I am glad I never got addicted to anything. It's just, that's scary how that could take over and your life could change that quickly. But, wow. I didn't know he was married to Julia Roberts. That kind of threw me for a loop. When I read that, I was like, what? Julia Roberts? Jeez. So crazy. Oh, shoot. Now I turned it off. That shows what I'm doing. Okay. So here we go. It says, Matthew Perry died from an apparent drowning Saturday. He was 54. After a 2-hour pickleball game in the morning, the actor made his way back home and asked his assistant to run an errand for him. Upon his return, his assistant discovered an unresponsive Perry in the jacuzzi before calling 911. In a statement, the Los Angeles Police Department confirmed that they responded to his Hawaii Fire Department. Told us, what's going on now? Oh, there we go. Okay. Told us that the first responders got the call at 4:07 for a water rescue and water emergency. He couldn't confirm if the body was found in the tub, pool, hot tub, but the firefighters did not render aid. Foul play is not believed to be a factor in his death, and drugs were not found on the scene either. However, long before his passing, the Friends actor had come face to face with death throughout his years. In 2022, Friends, Lovers, and A Big Terrible Thing, he revealed he nearly died a few years ago at 49 when his colon exploded from an opioid overdose. At the time, his publicist announced that he had suffered a gastrointestinal perforation. That's what it says on the on his Wikipedia page too. But he had spent 2 weeks in a coma and 5 months in the hospital due to a colon burst. He also was forced to wear a colonoscopy bag for 9 months to treat the crisis. Perry wrote that doctors had advised his family that he had only a 2% chance of living. How could you win with a 2% chance of living? I mean, that guy should have played the lottery. With a 2% chance of living, he lived. And who would have guessed? I mean, really, seriously, that's just insane. The idea of having a 2% chance of living and walking away being fine for the next couple of years, I mean, that's pretty crazy. My therapist said the next time you think about taking oxycodone, think about the colonoscopy bag for the rest of your life. Yeah, that's something to think about that would maybe help you curb it, but he was doing some major drugs, and the fact that he kept going, I mean, I'm just glad I don't have an addictive personality. That would have been horrible. Just crazy. Anyway, enough of him. All right. Next one is, I'm going to sound really horrible what I'm going to say, I think. But I should say it anyway because that's the way I feel. When actors, musicians become involved in politics. Angelina Jolie says the Hamas terrorist attacks in Israel cannot justify the innocent lives lost in bombing in Gaza. I mean, I may totally agree with that, but I just wonder, has a movie star ever made a difference in things like this? I mean, I realize that she means that with the greatest of intentions, and it's really difficult to say that she's, should keep her mouth shut, but I think that maybe, just maybe, leave that to the politicians. Because I don't think that, I just think that it's crazy that our actors and actresses get involved in this stuff. It's kind of like the COVID thing. It's kind of like every time they get involved in something, I don't know that they have ever really made a positive change. So I just wonder how much they're always going to say what they can, and maybe they will make change. I'd like to see it, like to see them make change, but I don't know. I just think that they have opinions of things that maybe it's none of the business. I don't know. Because our troops are going over there and fighting for this stuff. I'm not sure that it's our fight. And nobody ever comes to our aid, as in the United States. So I'm probably going to get some flack about that. But I just wonder if there's a time, if maybe sometimes, we don't have to help everybody. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm speaking out of, maybe if I was over there, I'd feel differently, but I feel that we got enough problems of our own that maybe we shouldn't be involved in every war that comes along. So, okay, I'll shut up before I get myself in trouble, which may be too late already. Because now they'll be saying that I don't care. I just wonder, we don't know the whole story. So, all right, birthdays. Now, a lot of these are yesterday. All these are yesterday. But I thought it was funny. Henry Winkler, 78. Kevin Pollak is 66. Gavin Rosdale is 58. Adam Copeland, who is Edge, is 50. Of course, he's still wrestling at 50. And he's doing the same thing that a lot of us said about Ric Flair when he was 50. Maybe it's time to pack it in. It's, you're really kind of beyond your time. So, of course, I didn't quit till I was after 50, but I was only managing for the most part. Did a couple matches here and there, but Anyway, all right. Zoe Kravitz is spotted wearing a massive diamond engagement ring because of Channing Tatum. There you go. If you have any things about Channing Tatum, he's taken. And so if you're thinking that you're going to be the next Mrs. Tatum, it's probably not going to be the case. I think he's got a little crush on her. But Magic Mike star, 43, allegedly proposed to her recently, and then the Batman actress, 34, has been spotted with the newly bejeweled ring finger. I don't know. Wonder if she's thought this all out. I don't know. I don't have any problems with it. According to People, multiple sources revealed and confirmed that on Monday, Tatum and Kravitz were now betrothed, whatever that means. The pair had dressed up as Rosemary and her baby. Oh, I get it. See the knife and the baby. At a 1968 horror flick, Rosemary's Baby, for Kendall Jenner's star-studded Halloween party in Los Angeles. I wasn't able to make that one. I was stuck here. Yeah, it's just, I'm happy for them, They're both decent people, I guess. Okay. Jason Momoa is thrilled with his stepdaughter Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum. I didn't know he was with stepdaughter Zoe Kravitz. Kravitz donned a white nightgown and blonde pixie wig for the couple's costume. Next to Tatum, dressed in a baby outfit, she was spotted carrying a fake kitchen knife. Oh, man. Oh, there's a video of it. All right. I don't know. I don't need to see the video, but I just think it's funny. Channing Tatum seems like a pretty cool person. So I like a lot of the stuff that he's been in. I think that he's funny a lot of the times. Okay, what happened here? I lost my screen. Oh, there we go. Now we're back. Okay. Then we got a story about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's Savannah version came to life for today's big Halloween show. So there. What does it take to epitomize the biggest pop star in the world? A vast number of sequins and one immaculate wig. Taylor Swift is kind of interesting to me because she takes care of her audience. She makes sure tickets aren't overpriced, although anything nowadays is overpriced. I mean, but that's because I'm a cheapskate. But anyway, I don't know. I found that she does things the way I would do them. You know, you try to look out for the fans. You try to make sure the fans are taken care of. She started in a green cloak, a nod to Swift's tour performance of Willow. Didn't know anything about that. She didn't get that okayed by me. And tossed the garment off to reveal a replica of majestic bejeweled bodysuit. Savannah performed Cruel Summer, and her 9-year-old daughter, Vale, came to the stage in a glittering gold dress and denim jacket, a recreation of Swift in her fearless era, before the rest of Today crew joined them. A lot has happened to get the show-stopping performance. The process involved debates over which era Swift should emulate, followed by the fittings for both the bodysuit designed by Eric Winterling and hair by Jody Mancuso in a Saturday Night Live wig shop. So, there they cut her arms off and her head off so that they could get the outfit right. Then they super glued it back on. Less than 24 hours before the big reveal, Savannah says she was feeling the mayhem that comes with all the preparation. I am a little shy and embarrassed about Halloween in general, believe it or not, she tells Today. I do feel like if you're going to do it, you've got to go for it. I agree with that. I mean, one year I dressed like a farmer with solar panels on his shirt because he was a solar farmer. And one year I dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. So I believe if you're going to do it, you go all out and you live the gimmick. So, just kind of cool. I mean, you know, I don't really care a lot for her music, but I really do admire the fact that she's out there. Oh, wait a minute. Are you telling me that's not her? Oh, that's what you're telling me. Wait a minute. Hold on there. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Who's Savannah? Who's Savannah? Maybe I'm really... Okay. Well, that shows me in a Savannah Guthrie in her... Oh, okay. I thought, wow, her face looks a little different this close up. That's why, because it's not her. Oh, how stupid am I? I am really stupid for thinking that was her. Okay. Okay, you see the two pictures. Okay, you see, yeah, she has a different... Okay, now I got to figure out who Savannah is, because I don't have any idea who Savannah is. See, that's what happens when you don't keep up with this stuff. You get kind of foolish saying the wrong things. Now I feel really crazy. I tried to practice. I have a video they sent me of me with a backup dancer and dancing together. I showed it to my girlfriends, and they were like, Savannah, you're not even at all in the same steps as a professional Oh, okay. Who is this Savannah person? I want to know more about this person. Wow, that's really strange. I'm really out of it, I guess. It's funny because when I saw the picture of her, I thought, that doesn't look like her, but, you know, you just think maybe you just don't know who that is. Savannah, so that's who it is. Huh. Well, that kind of killed. I had no idea who she was. I really feel stupid about it now. When I got the article, I thought, well, that's cool, Savannah. I didn't realize that. Okay, visit Savannah. Savannah, who's Savannah? I want to know who Savannah is. Well, I feel stupid. I feel very, very stupid. Wow. So, Savannah, okay, so what I'll do is I'll do this. Then, maybe I'll catch up to who she is. All right, Savannah and Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie. Oh, her last name's Guthrie. Okay. All right, now we got it. Okay, now it makes sense. All right. Huh. Wow. So is she a singer? Who is, I don't understand. Is she a singer or is she a comedian or something? What is she? Huh. All right. Well, I feel really dumb because I had no idea who she was. All right. Now I understand why they said Savannah's version. Well, see, that happens when you're grabbing articles, trying to put a show together at the last second because you did all the obituaries. So now I feel like maybe I should have paid more attention. Here's a Britney Spears story that's kind of funny. So Britney Spears got pulled over for driving. Now, okay, that would be one thing. You would think that she should be able to get away with it because, she's a rock star or whatever. I don't know what she's considered. A pop star, I guess, is really what she is. She's not really a rock star because she doesn't do rock. But, so Britney Spears got pulled over, and she was asked for her driver's license and her registration and insurance and all that stuff. And, funny thing, she doesn't have one. Doesn't have a driver's license. Doesn't have... Britney Spears used the oldest trick in the book in an attempt to get out of a recent traffic stop, explaining that she had to go to the bathroom, which caused her to cross the double yellow traffic lines. And there's footage of the body cam footage of the California Highway Patrol pulling Spears over on two separate occasions, September 10th and October 6th, near her home in Thousand Oaks. So, okay, let me see if I want to hear what she had to say about all this. This is, I didn't listen to this yet. Let's hear what we got. Oh, we got an ad, so that's kind of sucky.
This game.
Okay, let's turn this ad on because we're not going to give them any free stuff. Now we'll go and hear what Britney said. Oh, this is a long one too. This is like 4 minutes long. This is like as long as my obituaries. Okay, so he pulls up next to this, I guess it's a Mercedes or something.
I'm so sorry.
You're speeding. Let me get your license, registration, insurance.
My license actually is with my security at home, and I don't have it with me right now at this moment. I'm so sorry, but it's like 10 minutes away.
You were going 60, and it's like a 45.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Can I get your registration, insurance?
Excuse me?
Registration, insurance?
Oh, I don't know. All my information is at my house.
Okay. Do you have a valid license?
Yes, sir. I just flew in from overseas, so they have my security at my house.
I've stopped you before out here for speeding.
Oh, same cop.
I stopped you before out here for speeding. I gave you a break last time. All right, can I get your full name? With middle? Date of birth? Do you have a registration of the car?
No, sir.
Do you have insurance?
I
Doesn't your security usually follow you?
My security's at the house.
He's at the house. Okay. Are you able to have him bring your stuff? Can you have him bring your information?
Drive there?
Nah, I mean, I don't want to do that. Or he could send you a picture of the insurance.
Can you tell security to send a picture of my registration and my license, please?
And insurance.
And what?
And insurance.
And insurance too. To this to my phone so I can show you his copy.
Okay, just wait here for me, okay?
And of course, she didn't have a driver's license or insurance. It's a nice car.
Passport. But this is the girl she used to. She has all my information.
Okay, can I get your current address?
Okay, here she is. Talk to him right now. He's right here on the phone.
Yeah, I just need her current address. Okay, like her license and stuff and the insurance? Okay, yeah, she needs to carry it. It all needs to be in the vehicle. Do you know the name of the insurance company at least? Okay, and you don't have her license either? Okay. Yeah, it'll have to be afterwards. You guys can just show it to the court as proof, okay?
Yeah, because you don't have any.
To the court. Yeah, go ahead. Miss Spears, can I get your address?
What's the address?
Oh, you should give the address so I can go see her.
Is that considered Thousand Oaks? And then what's the zip code?
And like you said, this isn't the first time that he stopped her. I don't get it why people don't get their license.
Cool. All right, just wait here. All right, ma'am. So I'm gonna write you a fix-it ticket for the license and then not having proof of insurance. I'm guessing you do have insurance, but you need to have it in the vehicle or accessible. So if you get in a car crash, you can exchange it versus having to try to juggle it back and forth. Just sign in the red box. By signing, you're not admitting to anything. I'm going to give you a warning for speeding, by the way. Just sign in the red box. By signing, you're not admitting anything. You're just promising you're going to take care of it with the court. They should send you a notice to your address. In general, you can just show proof to any law enforcement that you have your license and that you have the insurance. They can sign off on the ticket, and then you talk to the court with how to take care of it, okay? Or have your assistant take care of it. Please slow down out here. This is the second time, okay? There's your copy. You're free to go.
Crazy. Like, I don't know if she just feels that because she's who she is that she could, she could just get away with it and all that stuff. But from this article, it says here on 2 separate occasions, September 10th and October 6th, during both exchanges, Brittany's super apologetic and explains she's coming back from a vacation. However, during the October 6th, she blames having to use the bathroom on going over the double lines. And then on September 10th, she was pulled over going 61 and a 40, and she's apologetic, but also gets busted for driving without her license. Oh, okay, maybe she has a license, but doesn't have it with her. And she doesn't have proof of insurance in the car. That cost her a lot well, for her, it's not a lot of money. I mean, the fine was, she was hit with $327 fine. The violations in early September were a bit more pricey. They were $1,140. That's a lot of money for, well, not for her, but for anybody else. That's a bit of money. And so she definitely got hammered for not having the information. So I would have found it really funny if she just never got her license, but maybe she has her license, she just didn't have it with her. I don't know why anybody would go driving without license or without insurance anyway, because especially with someone that already got busted once. So you would think she would know better. But then again, you know, some people never learn their lesson. All right. Here's another Matthew Perry story that's kind of weird. Lisa Kudrow said adopting Matthew Perry's dog isn't going to happen. Why? Because he doesn't have one. Sometimes I like, where did that come from? Why did people think that she was going to just automatically adopt his dog if he did have one? Just kind of thought that was funny that, you know, that somebody actually would have said that, you know. I heard you're going to adopt his dog. Well, what dog? And what if he did have a dog? Why did she automatically become the one that was going to adopt the dog? So it was just really funny. So, but yeah, I just, I get cracked up by that stuff. All right, why can't I put this on Facebook? Oh, now it's coming up. Or maybe, there it is, okay. I just wondered why. All right. Post. Okay, you gonna post it or not? All right, post it. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, she's not going to be doing that. Said contrary to reports, Lisa Kudrow won't be adopting her late friend's dog, as he didn't have one at the time of his death. So he previously owned a doodle mix named Alfred with Molly Hurwitz before the pair split up in 2021. So that's weird that anybody would even think about, oh, what's going to happen to his dog? So I don't know. I think it's funny, though, that was even a story. All right, next. I mean, it's a lot of the stuff we're going to hear in the next couple weeks as to what happened and all that stuff. But I don't know. It's sad. It's sad that we even have to see someone that young die. But anyway, this is interesting to me because I was a big Hunger Games fan back in, I don't know, around 2010-ish to 2013-ish, give or take. There were the Hunger Games and sequels. There was Hunger Games 1, 2, and 3, and I liked it. It was totally fantasy, because that kind of thing wouldn't happen in real life, but it was out there. But they're going to have a prequel called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And they're filming it as we're speaking right now. Even though, now the thing that's cool about this is they're going to have Peter Dinklage in that. And I think it's awesome. I like Peter Dinklage. But it's supposed to be premiering in the theaters on November 17th. So they got to finish the movie, and because they obviously can't show it if they don't have it, but they have a SAG-AFTRA interim agreement so that they can finish the movie. And there's a lot of projects out there right now that can't be finished because they're not allowed to work. But we're going to see how many of those come true. I mean, I'd like to see that movie, mostly because like I said, I like the Hunger Games. But we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Now, this is taking a longer time than it should. Here we go. There we go. All right, there we go. All right. Says here, Rachel Ziegler and Tom Blythe can officially welcome fans back to Pan Am. The Hunger Games prequel, The Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes, has received an interim agreement from SAG-AFTRA, which means it stars Ziegler, Blythe, Viola Davis, Peter Dinklage, and Hunter Schafer are allowed to promote the film before it premieres in theaters. Oh, okay. So it's already done. They just needed to be able to promote the film. It's not clear why the agreement was granted so close to the film's release date, but the late-breaking boost in publicity could help in getting people to go to the movies around Thanksgiving. The Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes cost $100 million to produce. It's a big budget there, and represents a gamble because it's the first installment in the multi-billion-dollar franchise in 8 years, and the first without Jennifer Lawrence. So it could be interesting. Amidst the ongoing actor strike, starry films that didn't get the interim agreement, such as Sony's comedy Dumb Money with Seth Rogen, Pete Davidson, and America Ferrera, have struggled at the box office without splashy red carpets or late-night talk show appearances. Other big-budget properties like Dune Part 2 moved to 2024 because Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya would not be able to talk up the Warner Brothers sequel ahead of its initial November 2023 release. So far, more than 100 films, including Priscilla and The Iron Claw, as well as Michael Mann's racing drama for Ferrari, have obtained interim agreements amid the SAG-AFTRA strike. To get an interim agreement, producers must operate independently from companies belonging to the Alliance of Motion Picture. Okay, stop moving. The page started moving, so I couldn't read what was going on here. Okay, where's that? There it is. Okay, where are we at here? So it says, have obtained agreements amid the SAG-AFTRA strike. To get an interim agreement, producers must operate independently from companies belonging to the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers and agree to terms of the proposed by the Guild in its negotiations. Since Lionsgate, which is backing the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, is not part of the AMPTP, its theatrical releases are eligible. The ones that aren't eligible are like the big, like Tom Cruise movies and stuff like that. They aren't going to get agreed because they're the people that are being fought against. With the interim agreement in place, the cast is expected to attend the film's premieres in Berlin and London, as well as a fan event in Los Angeles. Beyond press opportunities, the ensemble is free to post to the heavens about the prequel on social media, where Ziegler, for one, has more than 1.2 million followers, and the phrase SAG-AFTRA strong in her Instagram bio. That's one problem with these things, is that, you can't, you're striking so that you can get more money, but you can't take your film while they're striking and make money from that film. So even though, it's kind of like all the films that were released during COVID. They had some big budget films that were supposed to be released, but they wouldn't make their money back. And so the actors that are on an agreement where they took a lower front end fee, because sometimes you can, so when you get paid on different scales. Like Tom Cruise, for instance, probably takes a very low front end scale, but gets his money on the back end. So the idea that his movie came out, if it came out during COVID, he wouldn't have been able to make any money. That's what Scarlett Johansson was complaining about, because her film was supposed to come out in the theaters, but because of COVID, it didn't come out in the theaters. It came out on Disney only. So she can't get any back-end money on that. So the deal that she made with them was to take a lower upfront fee and get money on the back end. Well, she didn't get that money on the back end because there was no back end, because there was no promotion for the theaters. And if there was in the theaters, she wouldn't make any money anyway, because nobody was going to the theaters because they were shut down. So she was stuck in a bad situation, and of course, because of that, because of her complaining and all that stuff, she hasn't been used for a lot of things because of complaining about that issue. And I feel her pain. I mean, if you are going to try to do something with the back end, like, for instance, Blumhouse Films, they have a great way of doing things. They have a low budget, and they make everybody, or ask everybody, to take money on the back end. And that's a cool way to actually do a film, because you don't make any money up front, but you do make money if the thing's a success. So they can make a really so on Blumhouse they really don't make any money at all on the front end. Everyone takes back end on it. So if the film flops, you're not going to make any money. But if the film doesn't flop, you're going to make a lot of money. So he can make a film for $15,000 because everybody's getting money on the back end. And then everybody's going to be promoting that film like crazy. I really think that's a really cool way to do films. And in fact, I thought about it. I could probably do my movie on $15,000 if that were the case. If everybody was working for free up front, I could make a pretty good movie for $15,000. But, you know, it's hard to say whether or not that is the situation. So, so it's funny. I keep getting these things from Scientology, because when I was out in California, I went to one of their events that was based on acting. So they have all these people like Cruise and that stuff, and I said that I wanted to meet Tom Cruise. Of course, I would like to meet Tom Cruise, but they weren't going to supply him to me. But anyway, so I get all these calls several times a week. I get calls from them, and of course I don't get any. I don't even hear the ringer because I don't have their number in my phone book. So, but anyway, on to the next thing. All right. The Maryland man who received a second pig heart transplant. Now, that was a big thing a couple years ago. People were able to transplant a man's heart with a pig's heart. Well, he died, sadly. If they ever get this technology down, it'll be awesome that we won't have to wait for a human to die for that person to be physically transplanted. Because if we can use a pig's heart or another animal's heart for a transplant, we'll be able to save a lot of people. But unfortunately, this is not the case at this point. At this point, it's still not a possibility for a pig's heart to replace a man's heart. And hopefully at some point they figure a solution out, because people are on waiting lists for a long time, and many of them don't survive long enough to get their transplant. So it's kind of sad that this didn't work out, but it does happen, unfortunately. So all right. So here we go. The second person to receive a transplanted heart from a pig has died nearly 6 weeks after the highly experimental surgery. Lawrence Fawcett, 58, was dying from heart failure and ineligible for a traditional heart transplant when he received the genetically modified pig transplant. According to the University of Maryland School of Medicine, the heart had seemed healthy for the first month, but began showing signs of rejection in recent days. In a statement released by the hospital, Fawcett's wife, Anne, said her husband knew his time was with us was short, and this was the last chance to do for others. The Maryland team last year performed the world's first transplant of a heart from a genetically altered pig into a dying man. David Bennett survived 2 months before the heart failed for the reasons that aren't completely clear, although signs of pig virus later were found inside the organ. Lessons from the first experiment led to changes, including a better virus testing before the second attempt. I mean, that would be an awesome thing. It would be a way that people could live longer without having to wait for someone to die to take their heart. Mr. Fawcett's last wish for us was to make the most of what we have learned from our experience. Attempts at animal-to-human organ transplants called xenotransplants have failed for decades as people's immune system immediately destroyed the foreign tissue. Now scientists are trying again to use pigs genetically modified to make their organs more human-like. Fawcett, a Navy veteran and father of 2 from Frederick, Maryland, had been turned down for traditional heart plants because of other health issues when he came to Maryland's hospital out of options and wishing to extend to spend a little more time with his family. In mid-October, the hospital said that that Fawcett had been able to stand up and released video of him working hard in physical therapy to regain the strength needed to attempt walking. Cardiac xenotransplant chief Dr. Mohammed I don't know how that's pronounced. I'm going to pronounce it Mohayedin, said the team would analyze what happened with the heart as they continue studying pig organs. Many of the scientists hope xenotransplants one day could compensate for the huge shortage of human organ donations. More than 100,000 people are on the waiting list for transplant, most awaiting kidneys, and thousands will die waiting. Man, that's crazy. I wouldn't even want to, like, if I was told that, I'd be like, just kind of, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I fear the idea of leaving this earth anyway, so, yeah, that would be weird. So how often do you need to really shower? That's a question that many people ask, and especially when you aren't leaving your home as often as you used to. So sometimes you wonder, do I need to shower every day? Is it and especially if you live alone, will my dog be upset if I don't shower every day? Or will she be okay with that? But yeah. Says why having too many showers might actually be bad for you. Who would have thought that would have been an issue? I guess when you think about it, though, when you're showering every day, you're maybe taking out a lot of chemicals that would normally. I don't know. Let's see what they say. It says, get off your soapbox. The message from celebrity doctors and hygiene freaks is clear. It's cool to be clean. Social media has been awash with discourse on bathing culture. Take the everything shower trend, which is self-care seekers, share their 3-hour shower routine. On the docks of TikTok, expose the sullied parts of our bodies. Despite this newfound love of lather, Experts say there's no need to scrub so much time out of your schedule. There's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to washing skin and hair. In 2021, researchers of the Harvard Health found that 66% of Americans shower every day, more than necessary for some. Well, when I worked, I had to shower every day. And so that I wouldn't go a day without showering. So that's crazy. In particular, those who have drier skin and suffer from conditions such as eczema would benefit from taking shorter, less frequent showers, as soap and water can weaken the skin's defenses. I don't recommend a prolonged bath or daily shower. Dr. Julie Rusek, a private practice dermatologist in Manhattan, told the Post. Hot showers and soaps really removes and destroys the skin's microbiome, which plays a role in protecting the skin and also extremely important in overall health of the body. The derms agree that those that otherwise feel the need to shower daily after work or a workout should focus only on the areas that have high concentrations of sweat accumulation. The products you use could also be to blame for skin issues. Dr. Justine Hextall, a consulting dermatologist for cult skincare brand La Roche-Posay, warned that a light, dry complexion could be a sign of damaged skin barrier, harsh cleanser, or using too hot of water. If your skin feels dry after washing your face, it usually means the cleanser is too harsh, stripping the skin barrier layer of the skin and ultimately leading to moisture loss. Explaining that the squeaky clean feeling post-cleanse could mean a change in skin pH and thus a damaged skin. Stubborn acne, wrinkles, rough patches, or dry and scaly skin, itchiness and tenderness, or stinging when applying products are signs of damaged skin barrier. All that goes for your sensitive genital area as well, which requires no more than gentle fragrance-free cleanser, or just use water. And let's see here, Richard Gallo. I don't know that word either. Let's see if I can say it. Ethanician, and Chief Operating Officer of Silver Mirror Facial Bar, said that both your moisturizer and your cleanser should change with the seasons. During the hot months, change to a gel or foam-based cleanser to help with the excessive heat and dead skin. In the colder months, use a cream cleanser and add one with milk-based for extra hydration. All right, well, that's... So they didn't really say that. They didn't really say what our... I guess it's because each person may be different. So there you go. If you ever wondered, that's your information on how often it says who needs the first layer of skin anyway. Yeah, I mean, I just hack it off with a knife for the most part. You know, you don't need that because you get the better skin if you look a little deeper. So that's my opinion, not necessarily that of the doctors. Okay, so next. Didn't really tell me if I should take a shower or not. I think that means I don't have to. I can go forever without a shower. Yeah, okay. I don't even believe that. Okay. Now this guy, this is, you wouldn't expect me to play this next one on the show because I'm a big fan of electric cars. But economist Stephen Moore says electric vehicles could be the next big flop. Now, I got to say, this is the silliest thing. I know there's people out there that don't believe in electric cars because I hear it every day. I mean, not every day. I hear it a lot because I have an electric car. A lot of people say to me, we don't need electric cars. Well, that's their opinion. And eventually we're going to run out of oil. So whether or not you believe we need electric cars, it probably is a necessity at some point that we're going to have to find an alternative to gasoline. Okay, so maybe the electric car isn't the be-all when it comes to vehicles. Maybe it's an interim vehicle. Maybe it's an interim till we start driving on air or solar. But solar is eventually going to be a bigger thing. It's not very big, or it's not as big as it should be. But this guy here, I hear this stuff all the time from these people. It says, just like Ford's Edsel in the 1950s, Trump administration economist Stephen Moore cautioned that electric vehicles may be America's market, is maybe the next big flop. I think that when they were introduced before, they were a flop because the technology just wasn't there. And people like fast cars. Now, I talked to some guy, I had to get my car inspected last week, I think it was. I talked to some guy, he's in his 20s. And he was looking at my car, and he's like a big car guy, and he was saying, I'll never own a car like this. I said, why is that? He said, because of price. I said, well, that's not necessarily what correct thinking, because the price of an electric car is going to be $20,000 probably in the next year or two, because there's several manufacturers that are saying that we're going to have electric cars at around $20,000. Say it's $25,000 for a brand new car. People are going to do it because technology just gets cheaper. So gas doesn't get cheaper, and and a lot of these cars that are coming out now are hybrids, so they're going to, even those are plug-in hybrids are still there, and you're still going to be cheaper than gasoline if you're using electric. So I explained to him that if you're buying a brand new car and you have $40,000, that's not an expensive brand new car nowadays. If you're spending $40,000, the Aptera that I'm going to buy, and my Aptera is fully loaded, is going to be $44,000. That's with everything. Tell me how that doesn't work. Now, this Aptera has solar panels on it, and it uses the Tesla charger. So you have two choices for electric. So he said, well, that's because I don't want one because it doesn't make any noise. Well, actually, that's one of the things I like about it, is that it's quiet. I need a better reason not to buy one than that. I mean, his first reason was it's too expensive. But when I gave him a price of one that is not as expensive, that Aptera is going to get 1,000 miles to the charge. I haven't seen a car that can do 1,000 miles on one tank of gas. These are only going to get better. And the thing that's funny about this Aptera I'm talking about is that the Aptera has got a smaller battery than my Tesla. My Tesla gets about 360 miles to the charge. This Aptera gets 1,000 miles to the charge, and it has a smaller battery. My battery in the Aptera is, I think, 65 kilowatts versus my Tesla that is 100 kilowatts. So it gets a better mileage because it's aerodynamic and it's light. Now, the car that I have is heavier than a gas car, but it's because of the batteries and stuff. But they were able to make this Aptera be able to run longer because it's lighter and on a smaller battery, and because it's aerodynamic. So this guy here says Henry Ford's son was named Edsel, and this was going to be the great car. All the executives said, this is the car everybody is going to want to buy. Ford made 500,000 of these new sedan cars, but guess what? Varney and company said nobody bothered to ask consumers whether they want the car. Well, they have asked the consumers whether or not people want Teslas. That's why I had to wait a year to get mine. People are not, the people, the younger people. See, the thing is, this guy's an older guy, so he doesn't get it. But the younger generation is smart enough to realize that electric cars are really happening, and they're going to keep happening. And unless some other technology, like I've read a couple technologies that are out there, nitrogen or not nitrogen. Oh shoot, I can't remember. Toyota has a new one coming out, and it's going to be interesting because it's I think not nitrogen. Hold on, I got to remember what it is. Let's see, Toyota alternatives. Hydrogen, I think it is. Hydrogen is what it is. Yeah, it's hydrogen. So their hydrogen car is pretty cool. I think it's actually very interesting because you can fill that hydrogen car up and it runs on water. What a wild thing. I mean, okay, that's something I'd be interested in. Water, if you can run on a water car, that would be awesome. But, it will have no emissions because it's water. So that would be interesting. To me, that would be interesting because now you're talking about water, and we're not going to have any issues with how you make the water, because we have problems with how you make gas, and we have problems with how you have electric, because people will always say, well, you're still messing around with the ecological world because you have to make the electric somehow. Well, yeah, I make electric with my solar panels on my roof, and on my electric Aptera, it has solar panels on the roof of that car, whereas the other one's on the roof of my house. But if you think about this, there are other alternatives, and I welcome hydrogen cars because I would like to see that work. But with a hydrogen car, you're going to have more moving parts than you are with an electric car. The one thing that makes the electric car cool is that there's really very few moving parts in it. A hydrogen car is going to have things that make the hydrogen work in it. So that has to be proven to the world yet. So I really think it could be really cool if the if the hydrogen car is as good as they say it is. And if it is as good as they say it is, yes, I'm all in. I will buy it. It'll be a lot cheaper too. I think the hydrogen car they're saying is going to be a lot cheaper than an electric car. Okay, I'm interested in getting it then. I'm interested in. I'm not all in just because electric is Tesla's electric. I'm all in because it's cool and it works and it's fast and it's reliable. The earlier electric cars were not reliable, and they didn't get any kind of distance, which made it a negative to have. Like for instance, if you bought a Toyota plug-in hybrid, you're only going to get on a Prius probably about 30 miles, maybe they might. I haven't seen the recent ones, but you're not going to get much more than 30 miles, maybe 40 miles to a charge. And if you remember, or if you knew, that the Volt, which was one of the first electric cars, it only got 75 miles to the charge, and it took forever to charge. What's cool about this electric car is that it doesn't take forever to charge. Like what I said before, when I drove to Florida, I would stop, because I had to go to the bathroom, but I would stop at an electric place, plug in, go to the bathroom, come out, and I'm ready to go. And, it wasn't that bad. But with a hydrogen car, it might be interesting to see how that hydrogen car actually works and how fast it's ready to work. I don't know all the details on it, but I would be in for a hydrogen car if it's reasonably priced and if it runs reasonably good. And I'm sure it will. We just gotta see what comes out. But this guy here, he's an older guy, so he's not going to be in. Whereas the young kids, they're all about Teslas and electric cars because that's what they know. They see it and they say, okay, that would be kind of cool. And we'll see. I mean, but these guys, these older guys, they're not going to like people my age in general don't like this kind of technology because they're not familiar with it. But these kids are growing up with this technology happening all around them. So now all of a sudden, hey, it's kind of cool. It's cool to have an electric car. So, Mr. whatever your name was, get a life. Don't bust on the electric car because you aren't smart enough to get one. You'll pay the, if you're out in California, you want to get an electric car because at $6.50 a gallon, you're not going to want to pay that for too long. So, $65 to fill your car up, that's stupid. Versus what it would probably cost about $15 to fill an electric car. These people are just amazing. That they are so negative about it. Let the people choose what they're going to choose. And the electric car is not going anywhere anytime soon. The reason that Ford and General Motors and Stellantis, which is Chrysler, the reason those three companies aren't doing it well is that they don't have a clue. They don't know how to do it. They're building their car. They're a gas company, so they're building their gas cars to be electric, and they're not doing it very well. So Tesla is an electric car company. They're actually not an electric car company. They're actually a technology company who makes electric cars. They're smart enough that they actually, I would not doubt that at some point they start selling their technology to different manufacturers, and that'll make them even bigger because, hey, everybody wants to do it right. But, it says here, General Motors saw its quarterly profit reduced by $1.5 billion because of the higher cost and impact of selling more EVs, even though it doesn't break out losses from its EV unit the same way Ford does. GM CFO Paul Jacobson said it would abandon an interim goal of building 400,000 EVs from 2022 through 2024, instead focusing on a goal of getting 1 million EVs of production by the end of 2025, alongside hitting our margin targets. Yeah, go ahead, back off, because Tesla's only going forward. So that's the only difference, is that Tesla's actually making money on their cars, and all the other manufacturers are losing money on their cars, on electric cars, I should say. So, given the huge losses that these companies like Ford are suffering because of the EV mania, I see a statistic coming this morning that Ford is losing something between $40,000 and $60,000 per car. It's been a bad bet. Well, yeah, because you guys aren't doing it right. You all waited till the last second to do it when Tesla gave Tesla a huge jump on this thing because nobody else believed in it. The federal government's already giving all these sweeteners to help people buy electric cars, except Tesla. They didn't want to give Tesla that money. They finally did end up giving Tesla the money for the cheaper cars. I think they should give it to Tesla for the bigger cars too. Basically, from a check from the government every time you buy an EV. Let's not forget that we're subsidizing the battery companies on all these things. The taxpayers are paying for all these things, and you get and yet the amazing thing is, even with all the sweeteners, Americans are still saying, I don't want them. That's not true. that's not true, because I had to wait a year to get my Tesla, and that was the expensive Tesla. So there are a lot of people that are believing in Tesla and believing in electric cars. There are a lot of people that are. And don't spew this stuff that nobody wants them, because there's lots of people that do. And the younger generation definitely likes these cars. And so it says here, speaking of car dealers around the country, more reported that their lots are full of EVs, and only 10% of the clients purchase EVs off of the lot today. Well, the reason that they have cars on their lot is because they can't build a good car and build a good EV, and everybody's afraid of them. The people that are doing well, Tesla is the only one that I know of that's doing well, has to order the car, and you have to wait for the car, and you can then drive the car. So the model is very, very good for Tesla, because they're not having any problem selling their cars. So you people that hate Tesla, you know, this is the generation of online ordering. You know, the big thing is, if you want a good car, you got to be willing to wait for the good car. And everything is ordered via the internet nowadays, including Tesla. So instead of having all these people that are wanting to make commission off of their stuff, trying to sell people things that they don't want, cars that they don't want, if you want a car that's reliable and doesn't have to have the plugs changed and oil changed and all that stuff, maybe it's not as bad of a deal as you think it is. So, anyway, okay. Hawking teen, Florida teen who beat teacher unconscious over a Nintendo Switch. This was a story we did, I think, I want to say earlier this year. Yeah, I believe it was earlier this year. He got upset because the teacher took his video game system that he shouldn't have had in school in the first place, and beat the guy. See, this is the thing. When I was a kid, we didn't go up against our teachers. I know that one person did go against the teachers and actually got in a fight with the teacher, but the teacher won. The Hawking Florida teen who beat a female teacher. Female? Why would you beat a female teacher? What kind of growing up did you get? We were always taught you don't hit a girl, but I guess that's the difference between a man and a boy. The Hawking Florida teen who beat a female teacher unconscious after his Nintendo Switch video game was confiscated at the school, pleaded guilty to a shocking crime Monday and faces up to 30 years behind bar. Guess what? That Nintendo Switch isn't worth that much anymore, is it? You don't get to take that to prison. Brendan, of course, he's a 17-year-old, so he'll get off. He won't get 30 years. Brendan Deppa, then 17, violently threw Matanzas High School paraprofessor Joan Natick to the ground before kicking and punching her in the back and head more than a dozen times. Surveillance footage of the disturbing February attack, which occurred inside the school, quickly went viral. Surveillance, it says here, appearing in court Monday, Deppa, who is reportedly autistic, copped to the crime and will now have his sentence determined. See, if he's reportedly autistic, he's not going to get 30 years. He probably won't go to jail. He probably will be let out so he can beat up somebody else. No contest, Deppa, who stands 6'6", said after Perkins asked him how he pleaded to the felony charges against him. I mean, how can you plead innocent when you're caught on film? That's just kind of, oh man, there it is. There she is. She's just a little girl, just a little woman. That guy, I don't understand people like that. Perkins will have wide berth in handling the high-profile case with a minimum sentence of probation and maximum sentence of 30 years available to him. Why would you give that kid he's dangerous. He's dangerous. So that's the kind of person we don't want in our society. It says here, slated for January, the proceeding will include witness testimony for both the prosecution and defense. Depa's attorneys have stressed his mental condition and argued he wasn't competent to stand trial. That's the kind of person that we don't need in our society. That's just crazy. The teacher declined to take any part in any effort to mitigate the sentence. I think was that her name? Natick? Was that her name? That's just crazy. Yeah, that's the woman. That poor woman. I mean, she just wanted to do her job, you know. I'm hopeful that the awareness of this incident being spread far and wide will prevent anyone else from ever having to deal with its trauma. If this kid was such a big problem, I don't understand why he was in society to begin with. Physical healing disruption of everyday that life has caused. The GoFundMe page has raised more than $104,000. Jeez. Depp was initially charged as a juvenile in the case before the raps were upgraded. Good. The troubled teen had 3 prior arrests before the assault. Natick was treated at the hospital after the assault. Jeez. Well, he should go to jail for a long time, or, I don't know, put away somewhere. That poor woman. She didn't deserve that. Just for trying to do her job, you know. Shouldn't have to have a gun to do your job. So, let's see here. This one I thought was interesting. Farmageddon hits U.S. on walkouts on multiple pharmacies, including CVS's and Walgreens. Now, Farmageddon. So, that's a new term that's out there now. Farmageddon hits U.S. with walkouts. It says pharmacists protesting deteriorating working conditions inside the nation's largest retail chains have launched their 3rd and largest walkout of the season with a 3-day movement they have dubbed Farmageddon. Now, I'll tell you, I felt this yesterday. I was trying to get my medication. Now, last time I didn't get my medication on time because my doctor screwed it up. But this time, my doctor didn't screw it up. Last time, my doctor screwed it up and it cost me 3 days without medication, which really sucked. But this time, like, the medication was approved and sent over to the Rite Aid. And that was at 2 o'clock. Now, theoretically, I called it about 3 to just kind of get an idea of when it was going to be done, because I had things to do, like write this show, and I couldn't be out all day, so I was trying to get an idea, scope on when they would be done with it. And so at 6, I drove over to get it, because they haven't been calling me lately, so I don't even know when it's done. So at 6, they ended up not having it ready, and they said it was going to take another half hour. No, I'm sorry, at 5:30 I was there. They said it was going to take another half hour to 40 minutes. Okay, so I'm out trying to figure out what I'm going to do to check the comments. What comments? What comments? Is there comments? I didn't see any comments. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Huh. All right. I didn't see that, but now I see it. I gotta. So anyway, so I ended up going to the at 5:30. They said it would be ready around 6:10 or whatever. So I decided to drive around. I had some errands to run, and at 6 8:30, it was not ready. They said it would be done in half an hour. So it still wasn't ready till, I think it was done about an hour later. So it just kind of sucked because it took a lot of my time out to try to get my medication. So that's the way it is sometimes. But my point is, what is my point? My point is, whatever the issue is with the pharmacies, they're going to have to figure out a solution, because the pharmacists aren't going to put up with it. They're going to walk, and the people, I mean, it's just not good for anybody on anybody's level. If you're not getting your, like, they used to be able to call me when my medication's done. I don't get the call anymore. Now, yesterday I did get the call because I was sitting in their parking lot waiting for the time, and then I got in line. I got in line around 6:15 because the line was real long, and I knew it wasn't. Or I hoped that it wouldn't get to the window and have them not ready at that point. But then while I was in the line, my phone actually did ring. They did actually call me, and so it was really just bizarre. But anyway, says here in the latest walkout to the troubled industry this autumn, the first closed more than a dozen CVS pharmacies in the Kansas City area in September. The second, roughly the same number of Walgreens stores from the coast to coast in October. Like participants of earlier protests, those taking part in the walkout, which began on Monday, said the dramatic action is to draw attention to their plight and the danger it poses for patients. For too long, many said their companies have ignored pleas for staff and resources, which they said, it's strange because Rite Aid is the same way. That's where I go to Rite Aid. It's a 24/7 place. But they say the same thing. They say that we just don't have any people. We don't have the people to do this. And that's a problem. You got to have the people to do it. I think that most of us who are participating feel that we haven't been heard. And then it says here, people are so burned out or fed up with the way things that have been going on that it's hitting a bursting point. It's got to be fixed. It just has to be fixed. However they got to fix it, it's got to be fixed, because chain pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens have consistently slashed staffing levels while saddling their frontline workers with burdening list of additional duties. The situation was bad before the coronavirus, and since has made it worse. It's gone downhill then. So I don't know. All I know is that it's been a lot of problems. I mean, Matthew Perry isn't getting his drugs. That's all I got to say. So anyway, next. I just found that was interesting, that after what I went through. So we have this, we could probably, I got to do this one this week. I saw this today on the Post. Sexy nurse Halloween costumes blasted, offensive and degrading. Okay, so women that wear these costumes, I'm sure they're meant not to be in public, or they're meant as adult costumes for adult purposes in adult places. Like, I don't know, a bar that's having a Halloween costume party. The people that get offended by this stuff, they just need to get a chill pill or something, because this is just meant in all good fun. I remember when I was a kid, we had these costumes that were really cheesy. We had these little masks that were made out of plastic that you put on your in front of your face, and you just like have to pretend to be Batman without a Batman costume or without a Batman cowl and all that stuff. But the people that are doing this, wearing these sexy costumes, it's not meant for walking out in the streets on a daily basis. It's really meant for, this is, I've got to say, I definitely like the costumes, but I don't think I'd want to walk. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to wear this stuff, but I wouldn't want my girlfriend to walk out in regular public wearing this kind of stuff. But if you're going to a party that's in a situation where it's all adults, hey, if they want to wear it, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But people that think that it's all for kids, it's not. Not nowadays. Now that it's an official holiday, everyone can enjoy the holiday. I wouldn't necessarily want to dress up like anything that's that revealing, but but if you're offended by it, of course, this is cancel culture. They're all offended by everything, and they can always find a reason to not like it. So, I don't know, these people. Turns out that dressing up as a naughty nurse is naughty. Well, these calls are all around the world to ban the sexy nurse Halloween costumes, with one nursing council claiming the raunchy outfits are offensive and degrading. Well, get a grip. Don't be all upset about stupid things. It's supposed to be all in fun. You're not supposed to take nurses, you're not supposed to wear this as a nurse. You're not supposed to wear it in a situation that's not meant to be a fun situation. You don't wear this to work, for instance, if it's that offensive. I will tell you that if you're going to be offended by that, you should be offended by people that dress overly sexy for work. For instance, when I used to work, there was a woman who was a part-time stripper, and I'm seriously about that, and she would wear her stripper stuff to work, and you could see her nipples pretty much through her outfit, and she would walk around like she was at home. And one time, a person who I was working with she was walking past us, and he made a comment, and that girl went straight to HR trying to get him fired. Well, if you're going to dress that way, I personally just didn't really, I'm not the kind of person that has to say, oh, look at that girl, she's got her nipples showing. I just keep it to myself. But there are people that are going to say stupid things, and he did say something something about, oh, look at the rack on her, or something. It was something like that. And and the girl heard it, so she went to HR, and HR started interrogating everyone in the area. Okay, first off, if you're going to wear outfits like that are going to show off your stuff, don't be upset if people see your stuff. You got to know that you're dressing that way for a reason. And the fact that you're a stripper, she was a stripper. She really was a stripper. Means that you're not afraid to show it off. But, if you don't try to get people fired. They started interrogating all of us. Like, I was sitting 2 seats down, so I must have heard it. Yes, I did hear it, but I didn't tell them I heard it, and I didn't want involved. If the girl's going to dress like that, it's not right that he said something. That's true. It's not right. But, you got to think about things, and there are consequences to everything. If you're going to dress like this woman in a business situation, it's probably not a good idea. Same with this woman. This woman's at least covered up in most of her stuff. But, there's going to be women dressed like that, knowing what they look like. They know they're going to get comments. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that, I'm not going to make a comment because I don't want to lose my job, and I don't think that it's not the right thing to do. You got to do what's the right thing. And some guys just can't handle being around people that are dressed real sexy like that. So, I don't know. I just think it's crazy that you get all upset about that when you dress like that on purpose. So, I don't know. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything other than a former life of mine. All right. I got a couple here that are funny. I'll try to get through them real quick because we're running out of time. This one here. Okay, this one's kind of funny, but not. This was on Twitter. they were pumpkin chunkin is something that I never heard of till Trish told me about it. So she told me about this, and I said, why would people do this? But apparently there are people that do this. Now, here is the, hold on, I don't want it to go yet. Okay, so this is a person that's using a watermelon to do pumpkin chunking, or whatever it's called. Now, just imagine taking something as heavy as something like that and slingshotting it.
Ride in the kisser, show that knight who's boss.
Except she got hit by her own pumpkin. Poof.
Oh, God.
That had to hurt. I mean, if she didn't get knocked for a loop, I don't know. And they were trying to shoot at this, there was some kind of armored suit that she was shooting at.
Ride in the kisser, show that knight who's boss.
I just saw that and I think, oh, see, there's what she was shooting at. It didn't quite work that way, but she ended up, I don't know how hurt she was, but that really looks like it hurt bad. So for all of you people that are pumpkin shooters or watermelon shooters in this person's case, don't do it. All right, this next one, I found this next one. It was kind of amusing, but not. This guy means this is soccer's dangerous. You gotta understand it. Soccer. You can definitely get injured from soccer, and not for the reasons you think. So I'm gonna play this for you. Whoop, 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 whoop. So this guy is like being hung upside down. I can't even imagine someone hanging me upside down. Now, who knows? I think this might be India or something, but okay. So he's upside down to try to get his ball, which is right there. So, here we go. And I don't trust anybody that much that I would let anybody hold me by my legs. Oops. Oh, yeah, game over. That didn't work out so well. So that's another one. And then I have another one. We got Fight Night. Here we go with Fight Night. Here we go. All right. Now this is really crazy. I mean, I realize women are in packs. I mean, women are like wolves. They're in packs. So you got to be careful what you do when you're in the wrong. I don't know what the deal was, why the guy attacked her, but all these women come up and attack him. That poor guy. I mean, I realize he started it, but I wouldn't want to have 20 women jumping on top of me like that. It's crazy. People out there are insane. Right, puppy? Yeah, I agree. So that was funny because I wanted to make sure I covered that one. That's Fight Night. And I can hold those till next year or next week. This is, I hate ending on this one, but this is kind of a good, this is a good thing that this happened. This guy was found dead at an amusement park. But the good part is that he was found dead at an amusement park, because when they found his car, they found all kinds of weapons and armor and all that kind of stuff. That guy was planning to try to kill people. And fortunately for everyone else, he died before he could kill everyone else. What are you doing? What are you crazy about? You want some? This is the end of the show. Don't be. You didn't bug me the whole time, and now you're bugging me now. Here, take that. Take it. Take it. Take it. All right, something you want. I don't know what you want. Well, I do know what you want, but I don't have it. Here, take that one. So, but anyway, it says heavily armed man. Let's see, I don't know if I did this or not. Let's see here. If I did, it'll be on here twice. Okay. Heavily armed man found dead in apparent suicide at Colorado Amusement Park. Colorado man with an AR-style rifle, a handgun, body armor, and a helmet, and fake explosives in his vehicle was found dead of an apparent suicide at an amusement park early Saturday. There's not much more, or there's much more we do not know right now than what we do know, according to the sheriff. Maintenance staff found a 20-year-old dead in a woman's restroom at the Glenwood Caverns amusement adventure park in the early morning hours Saturday before the park opened. It really freaking scares me that a guy was going there to kill people at an amusement park. The man whose identity was not released was wearing what was described as black tactical clothing, bearing patches and emblems that gave the appearance of being associated with law enforcement. Investigators don't know what the man intended or motive, and there was no history or apparent reason for concern by the family or friends. The AR-style weapon rifle was with several magazines, a semi-automatic handgun with several magazines, was wearing body armor and ballistic helmet, and investigators discovered both real and fake explosives. Written on the wall in the restroom where the man's body was found were the words, "I am not a killer, and I just wanted to get into the caves." And investigators don't know for certain that the person found dead wrote the message. There was another text, but the sheriff could not tell what it was. The man most likely would have been able to legally buy the guns because of his age. There are restrictions, and Colorado earlier this year passed a law raising the gun purchase age to 21. The guns appeared to be what are called ghost guns, which are unserialized weapons that can be made from home kits. So fortunately, the guy ended up dying before he ended up killing anyone else, and that's just crazy. But the good news is that the guy was found dead. He entered the park illegally before his body was found, and the man apparently shot himself, but an autopsy was scheduled. Despite the patches on his clothing that bore the resemblance of those in law enforcement, as far as everyone knows, he was not law enforcement. Near the body was investigators found fake hand grenades and a pipe bomb, and said in his car there were fake improvised explosive devices as well as another package that was explosive. The handgun was found next to the body, and the rifle was found on a counter in the restroom. Visitors take a lift from the adventure park, but it's a service road, and there's a service road to it, and it's believed that the man drove to the park to enter after hours. It's a sad and tragic incident that reminds us of how Glenwood Springs community means to us. And it says the FBI is assisting the sheriff's office, and investigators will be going through the man's cell phone and social media and conducting interviews to learn more about him and what he intended to do. So it's just really good that the guy succeeded in killing himself rather than other people. So I'm not too unhappy about that. So, all right. Okay. What was this? I don't remember. I have gross picture of the day. Let's see, I got to see that. I forget what it was. What's that? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, this woman is licking this wall of whatever that is. Ugh, that's definitely the gross picture of the day. So, all right. That is it. So, we covered most of the stuff we needed to cover, and I've got actually a couple stories left, but they actually are not time sensitive, so I'll do them next week. All right. Well, I thank you for listening to the show, and I will talk to you guys later on. And as always, remember the most important part, of course, is that you're listening to the show. Yeah, that's the most important part. So, didn't work. Why didn't that work? Okay, try it again. All right, talk to you guys next week.